No, the ratio of coming here is coming down. I sent a case manager a message tomorrow. I don't know what to do. I just think to let people. He is a problem. They're not saying that because they're talking about the salary. Well, our boyfriend can work for us. This is our boyfriend. We'll tell us that our boyfriend cannot work for us. The program is being your boyfriend cannot work. I mean, I blow out. I mean, I forgot to charge it. Who that? She's not the only person that we work with. I'll come with you. I'll say on the beat. Nobody's interested in you, but like certain conditions. Now we are so like. Well, yeah, for all the people that go to put. This is a little list of people they all do. I can't know. We're asking Amber for a list of providers. Now we want to what God they want to say what God you bounce back. Yeah. Let them know if you want to pressure the transform. Okay, Deborah, I can't go on the air. I got 3 minutes. I'll talk to you. Who? I don't know. You told me you wanted to come. You want for me to help you if you can change the ticket and lie. You're not ready. Yeah. I'm not a liar. I business. I do that. That's nonsense. And you the one in that situation. Okay, I'll call you back, yeah? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Group 106 FM TV. We are here again to discuss issues that concerns our communities and our country. And I'm happy to be here today. Oh, the guy said my mic was open? Really? Dauda, you said my mic was open? That's strange though. But the mic's not supposed to be open. Wow. Okay, so Dauda, I want you to tell me if my mic was open during the music time. Really? Oh my God. Okay. And tell me whether my audio is good because I'm using a new microphone. I mean, not new a new webcam. Am I loud and clear, Dauda? How my mic was open? How? Is my mic loud and clear, Dauda? Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so I'm so sorry, guys. I was discussing business with my wife, and say yes, it was as there 3 minutes into the time as you were telling that person. Oh, okay, I see. All right. So thank you, guys. Look, the first thing I have my guests who are coming on today, and we will continue to bring opinion leaders from Grand Judah on. But meanwhile, I wanted to just let you know that we are focusing not just on Grand Judah activities, but we'll be focusing on national politics as well, because we cannot do without our national politics. And so we'll be discussing. I actually want to discuss the choice. We saw Bwaka's choice. We saw the choice that Bwaka made for VP. We also want to talk about the choice of not Councillor Gonglo. Councillor Gonglo is going to make a choice very soon. The choice of Alexander Cummings. It's a smart choice that he made to bring the daughter of Bromskin. You know, in politics, and what is even most surprising is that Charlene Bromskin has been behind Joseph Bwaka all along. She's been with Joseph Bwaka. They've been discussing. They go to churches. They go to gathering. They go to Basel. She was all along with Joseph Bwaka. Now she's now gone to Cummings as VP candidate. I know there's something in politics called the marriage of convenience. The marriage of convenience is like, well, I don't like you. To be honest, I don't like you completely, But what you want is what I want, and your success will be my success. Therefore, I I agree to work with you. Marriage of convenience in politics. So basically, they do that because they want power. That's the bottom line. You want power. You want something that will benefit you. Self interest, and that's nothing wrong with self interest because politics is about self interest. We all know that politics is about self interest. So there's nothing wrong with having self interest, but at the point where it challenges your moral foundation. I mean, it challenges your moral foundation. Then people begin to wonder whether in fact you are the kind of person you claim that you are. Then people begin to question your morality, your moral standing, your political decision making process, your thought process, your motive. And when the people start to question your motive, then it becomes a problem. Then it becomes a problem. Okay, so we will discuss Charlene as the choice for Cummings. And and uh, I, hey Caroline, I gotta call you back. I'm on the radio. I'll call you back. Okay. Mm. Okay. So the other thing we'll talk about, if we have enough time tonight, will be Nyombi Kangas joining Joseph Boyka. Is there any political dividend or what? She was supposed to be a VP pick. She was the first person that Joseph Boyka started contacting. And then all of a sudden, the name of Costa popped up. And then all of a sudden, Prince Johnson turned the whole political trajectory. And Prince Johnson is very powerful in our country. The man can turn anybody political feature around. He can turn the political trajectory of the party around. So Joseph Boyka and Prince Johnson were not at peace. We didn't like Joseph. Prince Johnson did not like Joseph Boyka. We all know that he doesn't like Joseph Boyka, and he had been saying all kinds of nasty things about Joseph Boyka. But all of a sudden, Prince Johnson now loves Joseph Boyka. He wants to be with Joseph Boyka, but he did not even do that. He didn't even join Joseph Boyka, but he changed Joseph Boyka's trajectory. He changed the whole political dynamics in the Unity Party. He decided, he made a decision that Joseph Boyka's VP pick will be someone that he wants. Not what Joseph Boyka wants, but who Prince Johnson wants. And it is what Joseph Boyka picked, Jeremiah Kuhn. Jeremiah Kuhn there was a discussion that Jeremiah Kuhn would have gone with Cummings from the beginning. Then it began to switch to Joseph Boyka. Then we heard that, Jeremiah Kuhn and Joseph Boyka is thinking about Nyombi Kanga. He has met with Nyombi Kanga and they talked about that. Then the issue of Henry Costa came in that they were going to give Joseph Boyka some $30 million, which was very, very too much a lie that I couldn't even stomach that the Costa supporter was going to give Joseph Boyka $30 million. Okay. I didn't believe that. I'm sorry. I didn't believe it. If you believe it, fine. But Joseph Boyka traveled to the Ivory Coast, right? Traveled to the Ivory Coast. Was it Ghana? Yeah, Ghana. He traveled to Ghana. And the $30 million didn't come. But anyways, the choice was not made that Costa will be the VP pick for Joseph Boyka. Prince Johnson has already commandeered the Unity Party for himself. Prince Johnson has already determined who Joseph Boyka should pick. Now that brings us to a question whether Prince Johnson is still powerful in the Liberian politics, especially in Nima County. And some people argue otherwise. I don't argue otherwise. I do also believe that even though my candidate will win Nima, my candidate, Councilor Tiawan Gonglo, will win Nima, that's for sure. How much percent we are looking at is what matters. We are looking at 65 to 70%. If we get 60%, we are still in the range. We'll get 65, 68, 70%. If we get even more, we are happier. But we are not discounting the ability of Mr. Johnson to win votes somehow. for Joseph Boakai in Nima County. He has his large supporters, but the problem now is Nima will be torn into pieces after we take our lion's share, after Councillor Gonglo take his lion's share. The Nima people ain't crazy people. They are not going to, they have a very great son, a very educated man in the race. They are not going to turn their back on him. If you know Nima politics, Nima are always voted for their own. Of course, the vice president thing as is very important to Nima. I understand that. But they will always vote for their own, for the top job. And that is Councillor Gonglo is going to win Nima. That is for sure. I'm not arguing on that. What percentage is what we are thinking about. So we know we'll get a lion's share. But this is the problem that Joseph Boakai is going to face in Nima, no matter what Prince Johnson with him or not. George Weah still has a lot of supporters also in Nima County. And George Weah will do everything in his power to make sure that he gets some of that votes. So if we take 65% or 60%, the last 40%, they can fight over it. Cummings can take his own, George Weah can take his own, Joseph Boakai can take his own. But if me fight is not in Nima, I tell people, somebody called me the other day, oh, Gibson, how you will do it with the Jeremiah Kuhn business? You don't think it's going to disturb councillors' chances? And I told them, Nima is the fight, but it's not the me fight. The me fight of this election now switch to Monserrato. The me fight of this election now revert to Monserrato County. It's no longer Nima, because Nima is settled. Jeremiah Kuhn will take his. Gonglo will win Nima. Cummings will get his own of voters because he got some supporters in Nima. George Weah will take his own of vote. But Nima is no longer going to be a determinant of George Weah's victory at this time. And it's not going to be a determinant of Joseph Boakai's victory because Councillor Gonglo will win Nima. That's for sure. That's for sure. We are aware of that. So Nima is settled. The main fight that we need to concentrate on now, it is the no man land, which is Monserrato County. Why is Monserrato important? Because Bassa is a ground that George Weah will not have a lot of leeway. With Nyombli Kanga rejoining Joseph Boakai, a lion's share of the votes, as it was during the senatorial election, will tilt towards Nyombli's support. Even though the Bassa people are angry that their daughter was dashed by the way, and that is also a negative effect. They are angry that their daughter was approached, the first person to be approached to be VP pick. And now she has been abandoned because Prince Johnson came and diverted the whole political trajectory of the Unity Party and decided to commandeer the entire decision making of Joseph Boakai VP pick. Now Prince Johnson now is the determinant force in Joseph Boakai's backyard, in Joseph Boakai corner. Even those who follow Joseph Boakai now, those who have been following Joseph Boakai, the pivotal decision that Prince Johnson made, has impacted Joseph Boakai's political future. And if Joseph Boakai will win, that victory will be accredited to Prince Johnson. I don't care how you guys think about it. If Joseph Boakai will win this election, that victory will be attributed to Prince Johnson. And Prince Johnson will beat his chest and say, we made Joseph Boakai. We made him to win. We provided victory for him. We changed the politics around. Oh, we didn't support George Weah, and we supported Joseph Boakai, and Joseph Boakai won. We made it possible for Joseph Boakai to win. That is a politics that Prince Johnson definitely going to preach. And it's understandable because it's as if Joseph Boakai is being controlled by Prince Johnson. There's nothing he can do about it. But so that Nima thing, I tell people Gonglo will take a lion's share, Joseph Boakai will take a share, Prince Johnson, not Prince Johnson, President Wleh will take a share. Cummings will take a share. The last 40% or so will be shared between the other three individuals in the first round. Now, in the first round, Moserado County becomes a battleground, major battleground, because right now the fight has switched from Nima to Moserado County. We know now that how Nima is going to be split up into the parties. So Moserado, what are the chances of President Wleh in Moserado County? President Wleh still has a considerable number of supporters in Moserado County. But that support is dwindling. That support is reducing, is failing. That support is failing. Look, how many of you saw, I think I have that video. How many of you saw when President Wleh walked into a market ground? When President Wleh walked into the market ground and people were booing him, women, for the first time in my entire watching George Wleh politics, the first time ever for him to walk into a market ground and people boo him, actually boo him. That's my first time seeing it. He has been the darling of the people forever. Everywhere he went, they chanted, glory, glory, glory to him. Hosanna, Hosanna, Hosanna. But when I saw that video, people calling him roll, 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 TV, TV, roll, roll. I wonder, how is George Wleh going to deal with the level of antagonism, the level of rejection that is heaping up, and more people are joining the ranks to ensure that George Wleh is not president? I was shocked. I was totally shocked. And I begin to ask myself a question. If people begin to say those things to George Wleh for the first time in my ears, I don't know if you have heard them, but I've never seen George Wleh walk to in any arena, any place, any community, and I hear people calling him roll, roll. I never heard that before. This was my first time seeing marketeers laughing at him, jeering at him, booing at him, and calling him rogue. The first time. So Moserado is a tough nut to crack for George Wleh. And Moserado will be split into large pieces. That 100% vote that is available in Moserado County, that 100% vote will be split into large chunks of votes for anybody. I know that Gonglo will have a large vote because Gonglo is very popular with the students community. He's very popular with the student community. He has taught a lot of people, and he has represented a lot of students, releasing them from jail, fighting their cases. The lot of students, they have been in advocacy. The student community knows him. To what extent that student community will vote for him, it is our determination. We are calculating in Moserado County. We are calculating. If everything happens, we are calculating 35 to 40%. Because we are very new in Moserado County. We are very new in Moserado County. George Wleh will get maybe 19%, maybe 20% in Moserado County if he fight hard. Because Moserado now is an antagonistic zone for George Wleh. And I'm not saying it because I don't want George Wleh to be president. I'm not saying it because I want Gonglo to be president. I'm saying this because the trajectory of politics in Monrovia right now seems to point negative fingers at George Wleh, and people tend to play bad politics with George Wleh right now. The people don't seem to want him. With everything put together in Monrovia, there where the media is concentrated, and the media is not for George Wleh. I can tell you for sure. I know all my colleagues I talk to some of them every time. We email each other, we inbox each other. Monserrato, the media is concentrated in Monserrato. And because the media is concentrated in Monserrato, and the media is not in George Weah corner, it is a threat to his presidency, his re-election. Name any media institution. George Weah abandoned his own radio station. He forgot that the King FM and Cloud TV will play a pivotal role in his re-election. He abandoned the radio station. I was talking to somebody who worked there the other time when I went to Morovia, and they began to me and say, "Big brother, I am surprised. We don't even have like tape recorder to go and record people. We use our own phones. No, nothing. Microphones are falling down, are falling. The studio is falling apart. Okay, and King FM now, nobody wants to listen to King FM because the president, he has a lot of money to put into money. The man won't pay alone. His annual budget alone for himself, his own pay. Let's say he gets $40,000 per annum. That's his actual pay, if I'm not mistaken. If it's actually, it should be 36,000. Ellen came and put it up to 40,000. So George Weah may have put it up to 45,000, whatever around there. So his actual pay is 40,000 per annum, right? But he has $9 million budget for his office use. So even if that $40,000, if you just put it into King FM, anybody who is going against George Weah will have King FM to contend with. All you need to do is to employ innovative, smart, and articulate journalists. But he abandoned them. And we like that. We like the fact that he abandoned them because that gave us a chance to take the media landscape, to take the void that has been created by his action to deliberately forget by your own radio station, your own TV station. Then the media in Morovia don't like George Weah. They don't like him. Well, they don't like him not because they hate him because he's George Weah. But there has been so many things coming up in the government. Corruption, misapplication of public funds, misdirection of public funds, embezzlement in government, unnecessary expenditure that cause waste. All of these things that happen. The United States Malinsky regime putting sanction on some of the top government officials, and he still deals with these top government officials as if they are not out of government. Those things are all negative impact. Those things are all negative impact. So whatever little development that he may be doing, and I know there are some things going on, but it's not sufficient to grant him a second term, because giving George Weah a second term is like repeating another 6 years of nothingness and corruption and graft and embezzlement, misappropriation of public funds, public properties. They came to carry on projects somewhere. You go there, something is not there, something is very, very little, and they make big news out of it. So the media is scrutinizing George Weah every day. It's scrutinizing George Weah every day. Scrutinizing George Weah every day. Scrutinizing George Weah every day. And when it does, then the people who listen to the media, the public read the newspaper. Some people read the newspaper. Now a lot of librarians are not readers. But the radio stations are making a lot of impact. Well, George Weah on the radio station is dead. So the other radio stations are not dead, and they are making a lot of impact. You know, if I were in George Weah camp, the guys at Power TV, I don't know, Power TV, no, not Power, where Abraham William is working. I don't know what station is that. But those guys, they are doing the work of King FM. They are doing the work of ELBC. But ELBC now, in fact, is a national state radio station. They shouldn't have been concentrating on George Weah campaign, but they will do definitely, because that's what happens. It's a nationally funded radio station. It's supposed to have a platform a place for everyone, including opposition. Like you in Ghana, those of you who've been to Ghana, you know the Daily Graphics. Daily Graphics is not an independent newspaper. It's not. Daily Graphic is a government-owned newspaper. But how many of you will not want to read Daily Graphics? Because Daily Graphic will criticize the government like an independent newspaper, like an opposition newspaper. They will bring out the ills. They will write about corruption, anything, graft, about that things are happening in government. They will write about it and publish those stories. So, those of us who knew that Daily Graphic was a government newspaper is because we are ourselves journalists, and I go to Ghana as a journalist. I interact with other journalists. I will able to ask questions. There are a lot of people who do not even know that Daily Graphics in Ghana is a government newspaper. They don't know. Like New Liberian newspaper in Liberia, can you compare New Liberian newspaper with Daily Graphics? Daily Graphic has 32, I think 48 pages. Sometimes 72 pages if they have more ads. 48 pages of news and information. And they produce millions of copies and they send it across Ghana. New Liberian newspaper, they don't even cross Mosorado County. They don't even print quite 500. And it doesn't sell. The reason it doesn't sell is because the government tried to encroach on the newspaper. So the newspaper is not writing the way they're supposed to write to bring out corruption in government. That's supposed to help the government. If the national newspaper, if the government-owned newspaper is bringing out corruption, the people in government will be afraid because they know that they have a government newspaper that is watching them, but they are not being supported. It's the least newspaper in Morovia. Least. All the right is big headline. If Joshua, I saw someone a headline in New Liberian newspaper say, President, we are deliver speech. Big headline. Banner front page. Are you kidding me? If our news editor in that place, the reporter that brought that story, I'm suspending you. But you can't blame them because the government does not know what it means to support a media entity and make it viable. Look at Lena, New Liberian News Agency. The only person that making Lena news now, right now, making Lena to have name is our own brother, Kwame Weeks. Without Kwame Weeks' videos, Lena, nobody cares about Lena. And that is what we like because he neglected his own responsibility. It's going to hurt Joshua. But our concern is to clinch at least 35 to 40% of Mosorado. If that happens, that would be a return favor. Let me just tell you this. If we clinch 35 to 40%, Gonglo, a Councilor Tiawan say Gonglo clinch 35 to 40% vote in Mosorado County, that would be a gratitude, a return gratitude from the people he has helped all his life. It will be a return gratitude from the people that Councilor Gonglo has helped all his life. All his life. He has helped people all his life. So we will not be surprised because this man has done everything in his powers to make people life worth living. It would be a surprise if the Mosorado votes at least gave him a huge chunk of the votes in Mosorado County. We won't be surprised. And this is the only politician in Liberia today who have visited more villages, more towns than any politician of this time. This man has gone to the villages of Grand Jere County, the villages of Magibi, not Magibi, but River G County, the villages of Grand Cru County, the villages of Sando. They may have villages of Lofa, villages of Bapolo County, villages of Magibi County, not Magibi, but Bomi County, villages of Kema County. This may have gone into villages that no politician in Liberia have visited to talk about politics if they don't send their own, their surrogate. That's what we call purpose driven campaign or pre-campaign activities. Purpose driven pre-campaign activities. Thank you, George Toby. George Toby, if you want to come on, I can send you because we'll be discussing Mr. Cummings' choice of Charlene Bronsky. So indicate if you want to come on. I'm having a few guests coming on in a little bit, and I will go to music why I bring them on, and we'll discuss that. But we're also going to discuss about Grand Jury today too. We're also going to discuss about Grand Jury today. We're going to discuss about the convention that just took place, things that happened at the convention. What do we expect in the next 2 years of the Grand Jury Association in the Americas? What will happen is, are we going to get unity? Are we going to get people coming on board the way things happen? We're going to be discussing that also. So I will go to music briefly. Don't go anywhere. I will be back shortly. Shortly. I'm not going anywhere. uh, somebody making me laugh. uh, somebody, somebody making me laugh, yeah. Don't worry. Yeah, yeah. Okay. So let me play you. No, guys, if you want a friend, find a friend like me. Yeah. Okay. So, Josh Toby, let me know if you want for me to send you the link, and then you can come on. Then we can discuss the Grand Jury thing, and we'll discuss everything about Grand Jury. So let me go to music briefly, and I will bring any of my guests who is available here. Um, If you not want betray, I'm fine, friend like me. Fine, friend like me. Fine, friend like me. If you not want betray, I'm fine, friend like me. Bombe oh, fine, friend like me. Bombe jete oh, fine, friend like me. Can you hear me? Why no audio tonight?
Yes, I can hear you, man. I can't hear the music, anything.
I muted myself.
Oh, okay. I can hear you.
Hear me? You can hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So we have Bobby here, and we'll be discussing. Bobby, you are interested in Liberian politics?
Oh, not really.
I know you're more of a granular politics now than Liberian politics. Okay, so Bobby, I see a lot of people trying to. I wrote a post. I did the little post that said, "Do not crucify Bobby for his opinion." But I realized that a lot of people, instead of disagreeing with you, they think you're trying to be troublesome. Is that how? I mean, what is your view about the way they view your advocacy? You believe that Madam Poah cannot be president because she was illegal. The process that brought her into power was illegal, and people seem to disagree with you. Is it possible that we move beyond this? Why you don't want to move beyond this?
Listen, listen.
Yeah.
I'm a man of integrity and who has principles. It is because of my principles that I'm where I am today. In the tower, I've been knowing myself as a young man. I haven't flip flop on issues. What I know, whether I'm wrong or not, I stick to my guts. I'm not somebody who gets swayed easily. Whether you present Jezebel or the Queen of England before me, my opinion and beliefs has been and will always be. My opinions and belief have been and will always be my opinion because I'm a man of principle and integrity. Again, I don't get swayed easily. These people that disagree with me, I challenge them to come and contradict my claims that Edith Poah is an illegitimate president. Listen, for too long, we've been in a community where when stuff happens, the people, they play games, and when time comes, they say, oh, no, for the greater community, we got to move on. Let's move on. Let's move on. And it is just hard in my gut feeling to let go because knowing what is wrong. For too long, Grenadians are being considered or seen as people, as only headhunters, as people that are not intellectually acute, that people that are below par, that people that they only believe in their ruffians, that people that they are not part of the greater Liberian intellectual community. Now, when we continue to exhibit his behavior, his unconstitutional behavior, how will people say? But we tell you, they only believe in brute force, unlawfulness. If we want to be part of the greater community, if we want to be considered civilized people, to dispel that stereotype, we have to conform to the rules and law of the society, respect our constitution. We have to do that. Why you think some of us, even in spite of our old age, we decided to go back to classroom because we want to dispel that notion that Nigerians are not just anybody. Nigerians can go to classroom and do as well as any other Liberian. To dispel that notion that Nigerians can excel in any entity or organization or arena. Nigerians can do that. So we have to dispel that notion that we're not people, that we're not people that are not law-abiding people, that we do not respect organization rules. That is what I'm fighting for. If you don't join me,
what I want you to do,
yeah.
Some people probably don't even know what illegality are you talking about. Can you go over it a little bit so that people understand what makes your illegal president?
So this is what happens. Our community, the series of events that took place.
Mm-hmm.
We had a duly elected election commissioners
Mm-hmm.
that were impeached. Now, I will say impeached, that were removed from office without giving them due process.
Mm-hmm.
Without following the legal process to remove the people. The people did not get a day in court, or they were not given a chance to be heard. They were removed by brute force. Okay, we agree. We can let that slide, or maybe we let that slide. Now, where I come in is after the removal of the duly elected election commission of the by the national conference, they went further ahead to rub more salt in our wounds. They went and violated, abused our constitution by appointing an election commission. And there is nowhere in our constitution that states the National Board of Directors has the authority or jurisdiction or power to appoint anybody. I think, if I'm not misquoting, I will kind of try off the say of here that in Article 8, Section 6, and correct me if I'm right.
Yes, Article 8, Section 6.
In the absence, of the national, in the absence, no, there's something that says
if anybody was impeached,
right,
or removed from office, national office, you cannot replace them unless you go to a special convention.
Special convention, or go at the national conference, or when
yes, or the national conference.
So now you tell me, knowing the thing that is glaring in the community, know even as I tell the third grader, reason, understand, they both knew. And then we're supposed to sit here and accept an illegal ballot that presided over Edith's presidency, to accept Edith as our president. Listen, I'm not trying to be a troublemaker. I stand for the truth. I stand for what is right. People can forgive Edith and want to move on. That's okay. That's okay with me. All that I'm saying, when I'm giving my chance, people will hear me out to know that this woman, she's an illegitimate president. I want to
talk. So why do you think people are not agreeing with you?
Listen, people. Listen. This is what we talk. We talk about integrity and principles. Integrity and principle. They cannot come and contradict or counter my arguments. All they can say, for the bigger picture, for the prosperity, for the progression of the organization, we should let it slide. That's all they can say. Now, you expect me to let it slide when you can't counter my argument, you know it is wrong. So we should allow the wrong thing to prevail. How long can we continue to do this? They can't counter the argument. Yeah, we all want peace in the community, but the truth should be told. The truth should be told. They can't counter my argument. So I don't know. But I say, all the people that are on either side, you find the best and brightest, let them come to contradict my argument. From Alexander Yella to Levi McCarvin to who are some of the people on this, to whoever supported, let them come and contradict Prince Double or Tawo. Let them tell me that what I'm saying about our constitution is wrong, that it is not an illegitimate president. They can't do that. Or will Kawu flank him on your post and say, listen, the train has left the station. Can you imagine that? The other analogy from one of our brothers I respected in the community, he's in Liberia presently. He said that the ship has set sail. Alexander Yala. But whether that ship has illegal goods on it or not, we should let it go into deep waters.
I completely disagree with that analogy. It doesn't matter where the ship is, whether it's in mid-water, whether it's almost at a docking point, or whether it just started. Once it has illegal goods, it can be chased down and brought down to boat, of course.
Yes.
So yeah. So I don't agree with that. Let me put this on the screen. The article that we are reading is section article 8, and then let's go to section 6 so that everybody will know what you're talking about. Okay, so this is section 6, article 8, section 6, supposed to be somewhere here. Section 5, section, let me see. Okay, section 6 right here. So this is the article that you are referring to.
Yep.
Let me make it larger and see if we can. Let me make it larger and see if we can.
No, reduce it, just like that.
Yeah. So this is the article you are talking about. It says vacancies and special elections. Vacancies created at the national level, like the Election Commission, as a result of an impeachment shall be filled by a special election during the sitting of the National Conference, except as provided for in Article 7, Section 2A and Section 3D. Now, Article 7, Section 2A and Section 3D talks about subsection. When the president is removed, the vice president take over. When the vice president is removed, the next senior officer take over. That's what that section move. So this provision is saying the only way you cannot take this to the national conference is when it's an issue of succession.
Right.
But the commission has no succession. There's no succession clause for the commission.
No, there's nobody. They don't have it. They don't have people waiting for them.
The board could not have appointed an election commission, and that's what your argument is.
That's what my argument is, and it's glaring. You understand that? Nobody have come to counter that. Even the Edith woman, nobody on the team can counter that. Even the Bernard Baffa, all he's asking for empathy. They're all asking for empathy, and we cannot allow empathy to supersede our constitution. The constitution is our organic law, is our Bible and our Quran. It's something that we're supposed to worship. Or because Edith went all around spending money all over the place, so because we should have empathy and allow to work away with GGAA presidency. No, I for one, I will not do that. I refuse to join the bandwagon. I am not somebody who you can sway or you can play on the intelligence. I am not a weak individual. I'm not that weak. People that consider that want to join the bandwagon and fall for empathy. Well, I'm sorry. You guys either can have a cake and eat it. We will watch her. We will watch her as she carry on.
So what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I mean, if you were sitting down at a function like any organization, and they say the Grand Jury Association president is going to speak, and you also have a chance to speak at that same program, what will you do?
I think that should be her utmost prayer, because I think
what prayer?
Yeah, her prayer, because I think she should do everything. I know she's a very hardworking woman. There are rumors out there. I'm not somebody who dabbles in rumors, but we understand that James Youboty was giving $800, and Prince Daba was giving $800 to propagate, promote her image, and it wasn't everything. You have to give them credit.
That's a huge allegation.
For somewhere, it was just mind-boggling that this man that I know, who stand up for the truth, all of a sudden is looking at the truth and say the Constitution the error of the board is not grave enough to not allow Edith to take power. That the error that the board, the National Board of Directors made, is not grave enough. So for some reason, that rumors, I'm trying to dig deeper to find out. But I've always said it. I've always said on the show, I say, I hope there is not any kind of or financial gratuity, because I don't understand your position. Tell you are somebody that I highly respect. But I hope there is not any kind of form of financial gratuity or monetary gratuity.
Okay, Kaufla is asking you a question here. It's on the screen. He said, I thought this issue should have been discussed at the conference. Who stopped it being discussed? Was it Edith? What do you respond to that?
Well, at this point.
But does it even matter? Does it even matter for Edith to say, this process is illegal and I don't want to participate in the process? Exactly. Why would it cause Edith to do that?
Listen, that's what we're talking about: integrity, principles, and morality. Edith failed on all three fronts. She failed miserably on all three fronts. For you to sit, you're looking at black and call it white, knowing the Constitution is against a particular or election commissions, and for you to sit and accept the presidency, and you're going to bow, calling more time, you're bragging, you're being happy, you think the integrity. And listen, that's how I'm talking about morality and integrity. All those people that are supporting Edith today, knowing that she's an illegitimate president and they abuse our Constitution. You think I have friends in Liberian government? You think I can recommend a human being or a person in the name of Alexander Yala for any of my friends to get that job in Liberia, knowing that flip-floppers, knowing that time can will flip from one point to another? You see, these people then, my brother, in life, you have to be smart how you carry yourself about. When you have a position, you stick to that position. Flip-flopping is one of the damaging effect on any human life. You see, man, Eugene Fagon is an eloquent speaker or smart guy, but because he's on this, from when he doesn't agree with you or when you try to counter him, he flip. He left from CDC. First of all, you were somewhere. He left from there with Ure because he didn't get what he wanted for Ure. He flipped it against Ure. When talking, he went to CDC. When CDC point out, he turned against CDC. As a human being, when you want respect, integrity will carry you far. But when you continue to flip, I cannot recommend these people in Liberia today to any of my friends in Liberia that want any kind of governmental position. I cannot, because I don't trust them. The little things that I want, you build your trust. Cannot trust Alexander Yala today, knowing the truth, or learn a person, somebody who abused the Constitution. Cannot trust a guy to go in any ministry to say, my man, listen, you're getting a guy, you're putting somewhere. Can I expect you to defend the particular government or any other government to the end? But when they do things, I cannot. I'm being frank. And that's one of the issues.
So, but here is the argument that people raise. And as much as I don't agree with that argument, but it tend to gain traction among people who are not inquisitive, that don't question things. That people who would normally go with the flow. They don't mind. They just go with the flow. So the argument is the business section had collapsed.
Right.
There was no way for any alternative, for any decision to be made that will certify the convention conclusive handling. So once the business section was done, and we don't know what was the status of whatever issue that we had, whether election was going to be held or not, whether we're going to instill we'll have everybody contest, or whether we'll have voted contest, or other than that, all of that was destroyed by the process in the business section. Mm-hmm. If the election was not going to be held, mm-hmm. and Edith would not be president, what were we going to bring back from the convention? What is it that we're going to bring back from the convention?
So are you talking in terms of we put our
At the
grievances on hold?
leadership. So will the board chairman now assume the leadership of the organization since there was no president? Would it be the best way forward? Or will we come from there with James Youboty being unconfirmed interim president because the business agent did not confirm him, did not vote for him to stay on?
1 second.
Or will we come from there with no president at all? Why are you what defense, what argument you get against that proposition?
Well, listen.
Yeah.
Being at the convention was our best opportunity to restructure this organization.
Right. I agree with you.
As you are fully aware, the convention is the supreme body of this organization. So I see some people making argument, why, if we need high election, you want to change Youboty to stay in power for another year or so? What's the big deal with A? This is the man that ran the organization during the most fatal pandemic ever in the history of mankind. And from my view, he came out successful with flying color by being able to erect a monument that speaks for Grenadians that Grenadians are proud of. What's the big deal holding Youboty in office for another year for the restructure and adapt our constitution and everything? So let's say we didn't want Youboty. We still had the power to elect somebody to guard the institution for some time. We were right there. Why didn't we go about doing that? We could have done that. We have capable people that could have guarded the organization. We have my friend and sister, Chama Brown, was willing to do that. I'm willing to do that. My little brother, McCavin, his name was being flipped all around. I was capable to do that. A lot of people in the era. But because of petty policy and jealousies, the board saw the lifespan right before them. They decided to carry on their maneuvering by calling the police. So let me tell you, a lot of things happen over there. The people, Youboty team, they undermine Youboty. Youboty will undermine throughout the process. I don't know, from his VP to his secretary. I feel that is my assessment, and that is my this is what I saw. I think the VP, the secretary, they were undermining to this guy. They had their own agenda. Why we never saw that day? The MC, I never knew that the MC was part of the illegal election commissions.
And so he did everything to make sure
he did everything.
That no other issue was brought on the floor to discuss.
After you remember when the general body said that the election commission should be adopted. I mean that the board be removed and we adopt a condition. You know, he came out with different things. And the board said, no, that's not what we said. So he has his own agenda. And Youboty I didn't know Youboty was not on top of his game. Youboty was not on top of his game.
For me, I thought that Mr. Youboty tried to play a game. Let me bring in Honorable Boo Yonle, the former chairman of the National Board of Directors of Grand Youth Association. Mr. Yonle, you were at that convention, business section from start to finish, and you saw what all happened. What is your take about that business section or the convention itself?
Thank you very much. I think I just listened to you guys as I was trying to get on, but the whole thing was just like a fracas. It was something that was planned, from the beginning, but I was not too sure whether that plan was going to be instituted. And to our surprise and amazement, the Mr. Youboty, I think I'm not sure. It's difficult to just tell from Mr. Youboty himself, but the way I'm looking at things is it seems to be he knows what was going on. It seems to be he knows what was going on. I mean,
Boo, I personally believe that Mr. Youboty was trying to play game, and that game caught up with him.
Okay.
Because we wrote him officially, we wrote the convention through him, Bote Tire Group wrote the convention through him. Bobby Tootie wrote the convention through him. Thelma King wrote the convention through him, and he gave his word that the issue was going to be put on the agenda. Boo, you've been handling things, you've been attending those kind of events. What kind of matter that is not important enough to make the agenda that it should be in the other matter?
Okay, let's start from the preliminary. What happened was that I told Mr. Youboty from the beginning, as a good brother, as a fellow Grenadian, I told him from the beginning, you are the president. Okay, you are the administrator. You write the agenda. Okay, I told him that, and I also gave him some advice on how to go about it. But as you said, I think maybe there was some game going on because he said that he didn't know anything about the agenda. He saw the agenda last minute of time, which of course I don't believe.
No, they doesn't hold water.
I think they promised him something that maybe will not go after you, or probably will might not audit you, or something. Something was going on, something smelling. Because the big elephant in the room was
this is the first time somebody has raised that issue about something smelling.
Election dispute. That was the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
That was the thing that was supposed to be discussed. So they should have discussed that, put that thing on the floor. That should have been the first thing. You see, they didn't do it. I even went to the guy on stage. I mean, what happening? Even the president, Mr. Jabba refused to hold the mic. How can you allow Mr. Gibson, I don't know, Gabriel Myers?
Yeah.
And he's member of the election commission.
Can you imagine?
He's what? He's the,
oh my God.
He's that's very bad.
You know, excuse me, honorable Boo.
Yeah.
I missed that because this guy was brought to the bull. You know, when Delene Brown, when she resigned. So he was not in my memory as one of the initial or the board members. So when he was emceeing the program that day, I saw him as a neutral.
No, he wasn't. The man tried
they appointed him as the election commissioner.
But you see me, the problem with me, well, I got problem with people. I got an elephant, I have an elephant memory. Whenever you do wrong, I don't forgive people easily. And what Gabriel Meyer did, it will be stuck in my memory because you know what? He was very corny. Every time I talked to him on stage, he was like, it was going to come. It's coming. It's coming. Not knowing the guy was playing. He was playing games. So see the process of the election, the illegal election commission go through. And my brother, Gabriel Meyer, I hold nothing against you. But what you did will live after you. This is no threat, but you got to be careful when you try to undermine the process that has the propensity to derail this organization or to set the higher number of agreed people apart. Remember tomorrow, because now everything is coming back to me. Your action that day, that the body adopted, they agreed, overwhelmingly agreed that the board should go away, and you turn the words around, waiting for the process for commotion to start, and in the process, or how do you call it, a color will call police, and all of a sudden everybody will go away. The next day, you guys take over. Remember this day, Mr. Myers. Remember this day what you did to Grand today. Remember this day what you did to the people that want peace. Remember this day that you brought upon us somebody who did not go through the rightful process to become president. Remember this day.
Let me ask Mr. Youngley, what were you going for that day? What were you going to argue for? If you were given a chance to make your point.
Okay, I wanted people's voice to be heard. And that's the main thing, because according to the Constitution, the National Conference is the largest or is the highest decision-making body. And there were people, people views, people opinions.
Gabriel Myers want to come in, so let me see if I can send a link to him.
Yeah,
so he can come in and come and defend, and let him come and defend himself about this. But go ahead, Honorable.
And that's where the people grievances and all that stuff can be heard. Okay, the people have already written Mr. Youboty. He received letters from all concerned citizens, all stakeholders. He got letters from them. He got a letter from Mr. Bobby Tore. He got a letter from a lot of people. And why would you put a thing on an AOB? And that's the elephant in the room. Election dispute. The first thing when we arrived there, and I call you Mr. Gibson.
Right.
And you on your way, you're about 20 minutes to Des Moines. I saw this guy, Mr. Nyinawe. He and Joseph Jabba, who is the secretary. They have some papers in their hand. I said, "Oh, let me see the people." He said, "No, the agenda." I said, "But let me look at the agenda." He said, "No, don't let you only look at the agenda." Can you imagine that? So that means they had something that they were cooking.
Who was saying that? Who was saying that?
Nyinawe,
I say Nyinawe.
Yeah, Nyinawe had the.
Nyinawe, who's the vice president?
Yeah. Joseph Jabba had the agenda. So I was trying to ask Jabba. I said, "Oh, my man, let me look at that thing." He said, "Oh, no. That's the agenda. Don't let Boo see it." Can you imagine that? Why would you have something from me? So I went to Youboty. I said, "But Youboty, where is the agenda?" He said, "Oh, look, guys, they are preparing the agenda." But I said, "I saw the thing with the man."
But first of all, Boo, how can we have speeches in the business section?
Can you imagine?
After there was something for us to put the agenda on the floor, we adapt the agenda, make correction, add and subtract, adapt the agenda, go into the issue, and then make decisions from the business section. And then the night section, which is a bar, is this time usually the president make his his address. But Mr. Youboty, they prolong everything.
I'm not cutting you off. I think the whole thing was orchestrated. It was orchestrated in a way that they will, last minute time they will come in and just create that kind of, pandemonium, so that everybody they will call police and everybody will chase out, and then the whole thing just won't, go to bed.
Yeah.
You see, what Youboty would have done was that, "Oh, gentlemen, there's no, there won't be no election since we didn't finish with the business session, because the business session has to be concluded."
But how could he have done that? From the beginning, Youboty made himself to lose authority in that convention. From the beginning, he lost authority in that convention. He couldn't exercise his chairmanship authority. He was not dictating the pace of the convention, so he couldn't stop the election.
And then you make the MC. The MC seems to be the star of the show.
Yeah.
The MC is also election commissioner. Can you imagine that?
Listen. We will outplay. I won't say outplay or outmaneuver. The deception was just too much.
You know what I told somebody? I said, we love to fight.
I think I'm making an assumption here, but I think my assumption might be correct. But Mr. Youboty, I think he knew everything that went on from the beginning.
Mr. Boo,
yes,
Mr. Wleh, this is my analysis. This is my opinion. This is my assessment or my evaluation of everything that transpired. Youboty anger, Youboty grievances against the eminent council be clouded or obscured. A rationalization to do the right thing. His hatred or his animosity for members of the eminent council, thinking this is what I heard from his sister, Eva Youboty. I stand to be corrected and I raise my hand to God. Eva Youboty. "Oh, my son, they brought Matakana here to be the interim leader."
I couldn't believe that.
Really?
I said, yeah. So the people have Youboty man going like this. That if he's not an interim leader, nobody will be. So he should as much just turn the thing to Ide, that Ide win. Because he made sure that eminent council didn't come up. And eminent council had no means or had no desire to say they want to be part of the interim government. And that came from Eva Youboty. Let her come here and say that Bobby Tore is lying on me. Oh, they brought Eva Youboty to be the president of the election commission. So Youboty were all over the place. And at the end result, here we are today. But listen, let's not talk about everything. Let's come to the main thing here. Integrity, the rule of law. Edith Poah, a nurse, a professor, one of our strengths in nursing is being able to analyze issue critically and come up with swift decision, the best decision. They have something. Listen, when there is a situation or scenario in the medical field, they leave it open to you to call it your medical judgment or your nursing judgment. What is the best judgment? What is the best decision? And they give you tons of scenario to learn and equip yourself well. What would be the best outcome? Edith saw this day, but she decided not to listen. When I talked to her, she said, "My brother, right now I want to do selective listening. I don't want you to wait talking say, oh, and the board or it's unconstitutional." Between Edith and myself, God is my witness. She didn't say that. Edith and myself talk on dozens of occasions. I said, "My sister, let's forget everything. This president is not running away. It is for you. But if you go that route and force the thing, knowing that the body that are going to preside over this particular election is unconstitutional, Mama, I will come for you. I will come for you, and I will not relent." He said, "So be it." So here we are. I don't want people to see me as a rabble-rouser. I'm not a rabble-rouser. I stand for the greater good of the community. I stand for what is right. In order for us to move on as a civilized organization and people that respect the rule of law, we have to set it up.
Let me hear Boo's opinion on what he's saying. Was it possible for Edith, looking at everything put together, the politics of it, she had tried 2 times and didn't become president. Now there is a clear chance of her walking into the presidency without any contest. She didn't have to concern herself with anybody trying to take her votes. Was it possible that she would have talked positively about morality or the illegality of that commission? Was it possible, Boo?
Yeah, I mean, I was looking into that very, because I'm, from the beginning, I wanted her for advisor, and one of the things that I advised her on was that, I mean, impeaching duly elected election commissioners,
Right.
that was a violation of the Constitution, because you cannot use insult arbitrarily to what? To impeach election commissioners. Even if you want to impeach, there's a process, there's a protocol. You also have to look at precedent, how people are impeached. You have to go through grievance committee, you have to go through ethics committee, and people, the whole board has to meet to discuss it. And if it is deemed necessary for people to be impeached, and there be it. But a vote has to be done. And then besides that, when you impeach the people, you cannot appoint election commissioner, because if you appoint them, they are what? They will do what you want them to do. So that is why election commissioners are elected. They are elected
And
so
the
that they become
Constitution made it even
fair
difficult.
and balanced.
The Constitution even make it difficult, Boo. Even though the election commissioners are elected by the body, in the Constitution it says even if you remove these people, you cannot replace them. So making it further difficult. Before you remove the election commission, you need to start thinking about when you're going to have a special convention to elect new election commissioners. So they try to make it difficult for you to remove commissioners. But I think that
And
didn't
I'm,
that didn't
I'm not
even
I'm not cutting you off. I think one of the principal thing here is that the elephant in the room was a dispute. Okay, the
yes. That
dispute,
was the elephant in the
election
room.
dispute, and the election dispute has to do with impeaching election commissioner, appointing people of your choice to determine or to decide the fate for Grand Gideon's presidency. And that's why I told Edith. I mean, the people are not doing you good, because you will not have a mandate. You will not have a political capital. Okay, a political capital is having a mandate from the people. There are just few people who support you. The
Yeah.
whole organization is all about what? It's all about raising funds so that we can carry on projects. You see, and if a lot of people, if the whole Nigerian populace, let's say 40% supporting you, will you be able to achieve that objective?
No,
And the
sir.
money we collected over there was not enough because they had to pay the venue. They had to pay all the places. So basically, I heard Youboty took some money to pay whoever he credited. So I'm not sure, but all these things, you got to look at people views, people opinions, people reservations. You see, not the power thing is there. If it meant for you, you will get it.
Yes.
But you don't have to go and achieve that presidency by just very few people, organizing, orchestrating things, with a lot of vengeance, with a lot of undermining and all those kind of things. But if you look at it, the president, his secretary general, and his what? His vice president. I'm not sure whether they were on the same wavelength. Okay, even though they probably,
I
pretend.
don't know, they were not on the same line. The Assistant Secretary, Mr. Isaac, was working for the new position he was going to have with Edith Poah. I'm not sure if the Vice President was in James Youboty's corner because he wanted to get out of the whole thing. He was not even interested in joining Youboty contesting anymore. Then the secretary seems to be between the sizes. Like he want to be on Jim's side, like he want to be on the both side. I don't know where he fit at the time. So Jim was fighting his own battle. He tried to outsmart everybody, but it caught up with him.
Yeah, because I
But
mean, there were
Mhm.
okay in politics. There were some option giving him. I mean, we hear a lot of stories from the grapevine. There was an option because he was told that would not, you must go and what and endorse this lady. Then we'll not go after you to audit you. Okay, I'm not saying that he was corrupt or he did anything, out of the ordinary, but anything could happen. So they were saying that probably they would not order him. So he agreed to go and what? And endorse the lady and say, oh, she's accepted because he want to get out of the thing without any, blemishes. Okay. So he went ahead and do what they want him to do. But you have to be a man. Like the way Bobby was talking. You gotta be a man. You gotta be consistent.
Yeah.
When you say something, stand behind it.
Consistency, my
You
brother.
see,
Consistency.
you can't say something and then later on then you switch around. You see, if people like that, I don't consider you. You don't do
No.
that. You say something today, you're a man, then next day you switch around like a
Yeah.
chameleon. You don't
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
But like gentlemen, we gotta brainstorm and think of the next chapter. What do we do from now?
Let me
See,
go to Mr. Let me bring in Mr. Fred Tyler Guion. Mr. Guion,
before you bring in the president, let me make the thing what my brother Abu just said, my senior brother. Consistency in life. You see how people respect people is when you are consistent. But when you flip flop on issues, people don't respect you. Even in your own home, your wife, when you tell her something, say don't do this thing, and the next day she push you, she will come from a different angle and test you. But if you're not smart enough to counter that thing, she will come from the corner. And when the moment they sense that weakness in you, when they sense that weakness in you, they will come and use it against you. From the get-go, Youboty has been a very weak president. He was so scared of this bull that he gave into their demands. When you are a man, when you speak, let people know that you are a man. Like I always tell people, having these or how do you call it, organs hanging between your groin does not make you man enough. It's how you go about decision making. It's how you go about talking and countering issues, making critical decisions that will make you a man. Man is not going around because you have these things dangling between your legs. Does not make you a man. The word man means a lot. But when you're there and people say something, you shy away. When people talk to you, you know what is wrong. And a couple of people talk to you, then I think, you know what, Bobby, I think the thing here, they think what they're saying, my man, that listen to what they're talking. You know, Baba, because you want to appease people. Don't learn to please people in life. Learn to do the right thing. If you die, you must die with the right thing. Listen, I want the community to move ahead. You think I don't love Nigeria? I love to go to organizations and see people having fun. But there is no way in my mind or in my heart that I will be happy knowing that this thing is wrong. I will not forgive myself easily because that is my human nature. And knowing that this thing is not right, then I allow and people jubilating. I mean, let's move on. You want people to start beating Nigeria as head hunter that boost people, like country and uncivilized and uneducated people. What do we come in the country for to go to school? Knowing that
I think, and Boris, I'll bring Mr. Guillaume in a little bit. If the elephant in the room was on the floor, it would have benefited James. Because I observed, because my conversation with a lot of the people at the convention, they went there for no election. They went there for no election. They went there for either setting up an interim body or allowing James to continue to the next convention.
Very good.
James,
that's what I heard too. That's
what
I heard.
If James had put that issue on the floor, the vote was going to carry that either he continue or an interim body goes. Then we come to determine who becomes the interim president while we go to the next convention. But he blew the chance.
It would have even given either chance to be able to what? To rally more people, to be able to be, to get more votes and be able to be best prepared for the next term.
Let me go to Mr. Green. Mr. Green, you were not at the convention, but I believe you followed the events of the convention. Is there anything you picked up from all the activities? You are on mute. You have yourself on mute.
Yeah. Thank you, Gibson. I want to say hi to your panelists. Yeah, it was true. I didn't go. I made a last minute decision not to go because I envisioned that what happened was going to happen. And I did follow. From when James, introduced the candidates on the floor, when you allow Otavio to make a comment, and then I saw when the chairman of the board came in to complain, right there I knew that there was going to be a problem.
Yeah, it was headed for a disaster.
Yeah, so I figured that there have been backdoor meetings with groups and groups. Because it's in our community, where everything that happened is like America going to war. America will use that to tell people that we'll be coming from this place, we'll be coming from this place, and it do that because actually they don't want to go to war. They want to see whoever they're going to fight will say, well, I don't need for to go into this. We cannot fight this country. So they'll tell you, we're coming, we'll come. The only thing they will not tell you when they launch their cruise missiles from their ships, So in this community, we're discussing everything. Oh, the board have to go. And you telling a body that you're going to dismiss them. So they knew that people are going to get rid of them. So they have to blame themselves. The unfortunate thing was we have a president who are not calculated enough to know that. But all boils down to we are weaponizing our institution to harm other people. I think we all need to sit back now and think how we can rescue our organization and our community. Because we have seen enough. Today I can sit to say, oh, I was impeached, Boo was impeached, or Gazing was impeached, or the other person. we have very impeached people. We can sit back and think, And look, we have to we got brilliant people, we got smart people among us. We have to sit and put our look because we need to rescue this community. The community have been taken over by the likes of my Peking Prince Doba, who uses the platform and the MWECO go out and that is strange, right? Coming from me because MWECO go out myself were on the same side fighting for the same thing. Actually, he's my first cousin. So, but that's what we have. How do we get ourselves out of it? That would be the discussion with other us. Like I said, Boo was there, Mato was there, Daniel was there, they represented the Eminent Council there. We are hoping that we're going to have this meeting with them, and listen to them. and see. I think the eminent council is a powerful force in this community. Other people look at it like, oh, they are too left door. They don't have constitutional what I feel and this and that. But I think it's what you make yourself. So the
And
eminent council,
the funny thing, Mr. Green, Prince Double and Tao Beko Goa were able to cajole James Youboty into hitting the eminent council. Say all the thing about the eminent council, he will not meet with them, they're not anything. But now he's part of the eminent council.
Yeah, he's gonna be part.
Eminent council.
He's gonna be part.
When he and you people together meet and want to meet with and the other president who is there now, and they say those things about him, I will wonder how he would feel about it. When he
what I see, the eminent council need to move above everything else and see. First of all, we want to see where it is gonna go, which direction she's gonna go. Because like it or not, they're gonna the mayor the president because our institution made her president. I spoke to Boti today. The man not recognize her, but it means nothing to the community out there. Other people carry her for, so. But the eminent council have to step up to the game and start calling. And then look, we have to.
And I want you to comment on that recognize. I don't know. You said something that it won't mean anything. What does it mean if a Boti and his group don't recognize her? Are they not going to the convention?
What it means, and I get giving. He's speaking to me. I went through it before. I begged to meet with people. Look, in any leadership, you can have one person on your side. If that person is a problem, there's a problem. Whatever. So they cannot take your life if they don't recognize her, because if they don't recognize, that's a huge group of people. We will not know. We can't put it. We can't quantify the strength of Boti because he was not in a race, so we don't know what he carries. Now, let's say election was held and Boti was in a race and there was some cheating that went on, and he felt cheated, and then he comes on and speak. We will be able to know who really he had, who was standing behind him. But right now, because he was not able to do what he was supposed to do, we will not be able to be able to put quantify his strength. But he is a Grand Engineer. Dow Kamara is a Grand Engineer. His Secretary General, Sandy, all of them, they are Grand Engineers. And now, even the Bison District President, National President, spoke, and on his behalf. I've heard that the chair of the eminent council was kind of leaning to him, so all of that, and when I look at it is not too charismatic to think to be able to when you talk to Edith, and that's just me, and when I talk to her, she doesn't come across that she believable. It's like she want to be too goody to everything. And in politics, you can't play that kind of game. Sometimes people must know where you stand, and sometimes people you gotta say what are people they like it or not. You have to say what is right. So I'm still waiting for her. I listened to her when she gave her the thing over there. I didn't hear anything that would make me to think that she will be that kind of person that will woo people. When you're president, you got your supporter. As a president, you must be able to bring other people from the other side, to join you. I don't know whether she can do that. But for the overall community, the eminent council is going to play a key role. So we all now have to be careful.
I want you to answer the question. I go to Boo to answer. What does it matter if you don't recognize a Boti and his group don't recognize Edith? And somebody may ask, what does it matter? Will he not go to the convention anymore? Will they not go to the convention anymore? There's a convention coming up in North Dakota, read by them. Are they not going to come because they don't recognize me, Madam Poah? I'm going to ask you that to Iber. Mr. Green, I want you to speak to, do the people even care? The people that went to our convention there, do they even care? The followers, do they even care that the Constitution was violated? That somebody did wrong thing? Do they even care?
I'm guessing you will not know that because the convention was not interactive. It was not a convention where you gave people a chance to express them. Who said anything on the floor? Because every convention you go to, there must be that forum, that medium where people can stand up and express themselves. We will never know. We'll never know. Because when we look at the whole setting, the whole thing, for the Robert rules of law, the way the agenda was set, there was nothing put on the agenda that came from the interest of the community. Everything was all the board wanted. I'm learning now that James Youboty did not even see his own agenda until it was presented to him at the conference. And that was his problem, because I have several James Youboty.
This is really funny. The president and chairman of the convention did not see the convention agenda that he's supposed to chair.
No. He gave it to the secretary and the vice president. Father, what kind of convention? Then you take the microphone and give it to the MC. You don't need MC at the convention. You don't need MC. The convention, the president hold the microphone.
President William.
How you go microphone to MC?
But the MC is supposed to come out in the night, and that's supposed to be the business discussing item by item.
I want to believe that. You know why I want to believe that? When I call Youboty just before the convention, a day before the convention, you know what he told me? My begin call Jabba. I said, my man, are you positive? They think gonna be on the floor. He said, yeah, everything's okay, everything will be okay, but call and talk to your man Jabba. That's how I knew Jabba had the whole agenda and prepare the way they wanted to hear the VP. My two chain brothers. Because I don't know the interest. The interest was to give out the community or to turn everything over peacefully. I mean, this man, Youboty, was undermined. He was played at the same time. He was trying to play off, and he was being played.
Yeah, it's just like a cat and mouse game. I agree with you.
Let me bring one of the board members in. I want Boo to respond to Mr. Zina, please wait. I want Mr. Boo to respond to people who may say, so what if they don't recognize Madam Poah? Are they not going to attend convention? Is it not going to affect them again when they want to run in the future? So what? What it means when Mr. Botita and his group say we're not going to recognize her? Is it going to transmit into any tangible or concrete action?
Everyone is important within the Grand GGAA Association, whether the Chen district, Bazan district, or Kunabo district. When one of the district is offended, I think it's important for the people who did what they did to reach out, because you have to reach out to those people, because you're going to lead as a leader for all groups. So if other groups are offended, you need to go and reach out to those people, because one group alone, the Bazan people, there are many. Their population is large within the Grand GGAA, within the Grand GGAA Association. The Bazan people, I mean, besides that, they carry out a lot of development in their district. Right now, they're building a lot of infrastructures, so they are not people to overlook. You see, so if these people they feel that they are affronted, they need to be. You guys need to reach out, and it's very, very important. You can't overlook any group. Every group is important. Every Grand GGAA is important, and Mr. Gabriel Meyer is out there, because I saw him. I mean, controlling the whole microphone. I told Gabriel Meyer, I said, give the microphone to Mr. Jabba, because Jabba is the secretary. Gabriel tried to give the microphone to Jabba, and Jabba, he did his hand like this. He refused. So imagine, we can blame Gabriel, but Gabriel himself, you can't play two parts, Gabriel. You can't be a what? You can't be an election commissioner and become a what? MC.
There's a boo before Mr. Maya come in. I just want to make this clear. I want my people in Grand GGAA and the world at large, Grand GGAA, listening on here tonight. I'm asking Grand GGAA, irrespective of this particular result, knowing that Edith is an illegitimate president, please, I am calling on you, my Bazan district brothers, please do not break away. Breaking away would not solve the solution in our community. Let's stay on board. Grand GGAA is the biggest picture. But for me, my support my moral support, Edith will not get it.
Okay, we'll come back to that. That will be in your closing comment and other question. But let me go to Mr. Zina. Yeah.
Now, when there's a convention or anything here,
At this point, Bobby, at this point, you are joining me now to be the one asking question. You know that's the role you're supposed to be playing now, right?
Okay. I'm not that person. I won't be part of the show.
To be asking other panelists questions, and because you and Madison will be joining me for also quiz these people. You can make opinion one or two times, but let's see if we can. Let me go to Mr. Zina. Mr. Zina, you are supposed to be the acting secretary of the board. It looks like you guys are all aware of what went on at the convention. What is your take about what went on? Is there anything wrong at all or nothing wrong?
Well, am I clear, Gizim?
Yeah, everybody hears you fine.
Okay. I was in. What went on with the bowl, all the planning and all the stuff, I was not part of it because, in the fact that I left from Iowa around 5 a.m. Sunday morning. That will tell you that what went on Saturday, it didn't sit well with me. I didn't want to.
How so? How it did not sit well? Your board chairman was in control of everything. You guys were the board.
Yeah, most of the decisions that were made, the removal of the Constitutional Election Commission, that's something that I didn't subscribe to. So, and most of the decisions being made, I felt that they were leading in the wrong direction. So, me being somebody of integrity and I want my reputation to be in the straight, I feel that, I don't want to be part of the such thing that was going on. And my last hope was the conference and the behavior of the Mr. What's his name? Say Kai Wei, right? And his behavior, and then I'm start talking about from Edith. For me, I give my take on why maybe they even leave the convention, and they change the memorandum signed with the change agency and Kai Wei behavior. That just turn up for me. I decided, so look, I don't have to stay and let me leave. I'm not getting you. Yeah, I'm not hearing you.
What happened to the change agency? You think it was not a good plan to sign the contract at the convention?
I just felt that Youboty and the rest of the guys, they respected the conference because if you are doing such a signing ceremony of some, bring the copies there, let people read and see what in it that you signing, okay, and let us know what is in it. But I don't see anything like that, and you kind of enforcing the conference to. The first thing when we went to Missouri, right? We went to Missouri. Youboty brought change agency to the convention without the knowledge of many of us on the board. If other people knew, I don't know, but I never knew that they were coming. And when they went to the convention,
but the Constitution says that every contract must be with the consent of the board. So you guys have not originally or previously approved that contract?
No, I mean, look, let me tell you, it came to a point where the board was just being run by, and what surprised me is the guy from Iowa, Smith Mooney, right? I just thought, Mooney being a board, he's a guy I admire. But later on, when he switched,
are you talking about Smith Mooney, or you talking about Asimuna?
Asimuna
is from Iowa.
Yeah, from Ohio.
Oh, Ohio, yeah, Ohio.
Yeah, and, you're one of the guys that I felt that maybe coming on the board to help some of us to put it, the community in the right direction. But lately, and I see him betting with himself with Ominga, the like of Eric Cohn, to lead in the wrong direction, and a little bit, surprised me. So at the time, they were not really calling meeting. They were doing things on their own with a few guys there, handling the decision along with Blue Collar, So that particular contract, I never read it. So let me just go back to Missouri. Okay, when that group came, they did a presentation, and they said they will match dollar for dollar, for GGA. And my first instinct, I told someone, I said, look, man, first of all, the guy came to the convention. We don't know that they were coming. And the particular arrangement is not too clear. Can we have a time to look what arrangement before we can do that? Well, many of our people we let to get hyped, when we see little thing. So the whole conference was kind of like got carried away from that little presentation.
So let me ask a question. When the board when the situation is started to evolve, did any of you go to your chairman and say, "Hey, Mr. Chairman, the way it's going is not good"? Anybody did that? Because I know it's like a convention. You can't stand up there and argue with him publicly or openly or disagree with him openly. It will not show some leadership. But in the background, like in his ear, say, "Mr. Chairman, the way it's going is not proper." Did anybody do it at all?
Gibson, those guys and I started the first, confrontation on Friday night. Okay.
Okay.
Friday night, they and I got into a serious heated argument at the door. Okay, they wanted to remove. In fact, whenever you put the guy to tell the finance over to them, I said, no, you can't do that. And then I would go into it, we argue about it, and then later on. But then I begin to think that why is it that most of the time it seems like I'm the only person seeing that wrongdoing? That they don't see it. So before my father could pass away, he said, look, Colombo, sometimes you have to slow down with those people because some of them don't really see, they will see wrong and they support it. So we had an argument. So on Saturday, I decided just lay back a little bit and wait for the conference. Okay. And my being on the board, people say, oh, Colombo, the board is this, the board is that. And I was waiting for the movement, right, for us to have the chance to reduce the board to 9 members. That was my main point. I went to that convention, and then to see kind of educated guy going through a constitution, like you're talking to some foolish people, they don't know what they're doing. When you amend your constitution, you read atom by atom, and then we decide on each atom I want to adopt, and he went through the whole thing. Look, I just thought, happy, no them staying here because, and I'm not going back on that book until maybe the graduate student can put things together. But I'm not going to waste my time on that book because I just felt it was a perfect opportunity to put things in place.
Okay.
I'm not going to be on board.
Yeah.
That don't make sense.
After Colombo, I just want to say something here quick. So because I was calling my brother out, Mr. Myers. The first time I met this guy, this gentleman, it was
you are in a questioning the interview position now. So
yes. So, the first time I met this gentleman,
you make opinion letter. You make an opinion letter, but you get engaging.
I want to say the premise of my question.
Okay, go ahead.
First time I met the gentleman was in Iowa when we all went. We were with GGAA. We went for a celebration for GGAD in not Iowa, but in Missouri. And I was fortunate enough. Fred Grant gave me the opportunity to be the guest speaker. As GG always go about doing the thing, promoting young people with potential. And I was a guest speaker on that day. And before that, even that, it wasn't that particular time. Let's fast forward. It was in Iowa, where my sister Ruth Wleh killed, slaughtered a goat for me when I graduated, when I obtained my master's at the time. She killed a goat, and they all made me speech. Everybody saying thank you, Bobby, and he came out and he spoke eloquently, fluently, and he made a connection between my uncle, Siwa Kanabung, and his dad, Mr. Myers. And from there, I didn't see him as any ordinary engineer. I saw him as a brother, But after reviewing and reevaluating everything that's transpired last weekend, I do feel that Mr. Gabriel Myers Jr. was very corny and deceptive. So my question to Mr. Myers is, Mr. Myers, Gabriel Myers Jr., what is your understanding of conflict of interest before I go on?
Well, first of all, thank you. Can you guys hear me?
You are loud and clear.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to be on your show. When you talk about conflict of interest, you're basically trying to arrive at resolution to solve problems. But let us leave that for now. You mentioned my name. That's the reason why I came on. I was watching in the background. I didn't click on the thing to be present into the live feed. But then when you were talking,
before you go on, let's set the record straight. I don't think that's the right answer to conflict of interest.
Okay, I'm not here for conflict of interest situation. I'm here because you say I was being corny, and I'm here to explain what I know. Okay. For the past few conventions, Mr. Youboty
Before you go on, I don't, because I want you to grab my question.
Yeah, I got your question.
No, I'm not done with my question because I was going to ask another question. So I'm going to give you opportunity.
So let me just tell everyone, Mr. Tudi and Mr. Mike Madison will help me to navigate the process. They will ask questions when nobody is here. Then they are serving as guests. So please be patient and we give you a chance to actually express yourself, honestly.
Right. So let me give you.
So let me take the first breath. Bobby.
Yeah, Bobby.
Bobby, let me take the first breath.
The thing, because I want you to encapsulate everything. I want to get the opportunity. I don't want to corner him. I don't want to corner him. This is a brother. I don't want to corner him. I'm going to bring the benefit of the doubt. The reason I'm
listen, Bobby.
But listen,
going to you rhetoric here and words here to
Bobby, it's hard to be journalist. Let me rest. You will
I want to make it easy for you. I want to make it easy for you.
No, don't make it easy for me. I don't want you to make it easy for me.
Let me rest. Let me answer. You will still be don't worry.
On the issues.
Yes.
Yes. As I said, couple of convention, I have been approached by Mr. James Youboty, who is my brother, asking me to serve as a master of ceremony for the Grand GGAA conventions. I think I've served, even on Timon Collins, I served in Texas. So I've been given that opportunity, being chosen from my colleagues to serve in this regard. If Mr. Jeffrey can recall the last convention, I participated in the process to be on the election commission. And then I came 6th place because they were looking for 5 individuals, so I didn't make the cut. So around the election time, the convention is coming. Oh, did it cut me off?
You still on?
Oh, but I went mute. I can't see myself.
We can see you.
Oh, you guys can see me?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So basically, when James approached me and told me, say, my man, you are going to be the master of ceremony for the convention. I'm like, okay, this is something I've been doing. All right. That was a first position that I accepted. Later on, when the board dismissed the current election commissioners, I was approached by the board, the chairman of the board. He said, we have a vacancy that we want you to fill in. I'm like, okay, no problem. But you have to be written. You have to be in written communication. So I was written to serve on the election commission. So fast forward to the convention. When we got to the convention, what I know about the convention, from the administration to the board to the national convention have ultimate power at the convention. The voice of the people are final decision. Okay? So many things, so many errors were made. The convention was called to order. The agenda should have been read and placed on to the body to see if they're going to accept the agenda, make changes, or add or subtract. That was not done. Everything that was done in the background, I got no idea. My primary goal there was to make sure the convention was conducted appropriately as a master of ceremony. But what you got to pay to realize is, as I'm standing there and executing my duties, I realized there's a conflict between the board and the current administration. There's a serious fight going on between the board and the administration. So after the man reviewed the Constitution, I simply said the Constitution was reviewed by Mr. Wleh. It is the body decision to decide if the Constitution is going to be adopted at the convention or the board is going to make a decision. That was the question I posed to you guys. And you guys all said yes. The chairman of the board stood up and said, no, we call you here to be a master of ceremony. You're not here to make any decision. The chairman of the board came out and said, I was trying to explain it and clarify it. They wanted to hear it from the horse's mouth. The man came up and said, The poll will select a committee to review the Constitution, and at the next convention, it's going to be presented to the body if it's going to be adopted. So what did I do wrong? How was I corny?
Good.
My duty and responsibility there was to make sure control the crowd. I got very discouraged when I got to realize police were called into the hall. By whom? I don't know. And when police appear in this country, you all know we got to follow the laws and rules and regulations of this country. That's how the cop told me to shut it down. And I shut it down. But I got no idea. I wasn't corny in any way and shape and form. I was not a decision maker in that process. I was only there as an MC, and the general body and the board of directors and the administration had a conflict going.
Okay.
Now, you, Edith Poah, my question to you is, when we decided to go for the convention and election was going to be held, does it matter if I serve on the election commission when everyone sitting on this battle know it was going to be a white battle?
It matters.
If the election was going to be conducted, then obviously it doesn't matter if I sit on the election commission or not. It was definitely going to be a white battle. There's no question about that. So what wrong did I do?
Because
how was I going?
Good.
Okay, let Babe speak. Babe, you guys say you had a second question?
No, I don't have. I'm going to answer this question because.
No, forget about answering the question. You.
I'm not telling you for the question. Answer it. I won't answer. I don't want people.
I'm here to clarify myself. Ask the question.
But it hard to be journalist.
I never lay my eye on the program. I never lay my eye on the program until the program started.
Babe, no problem. I'll make you'll be guest. So go ahead and respond.
I'm a guest. I don't want to be no host tonight. Yeah, listen. Thank you, my brother. The reason I said that because for some reason, somewhere during the line when you were emceeing the program,
right?
Maybe because of the heat of the moment, you had a slight amnesia. When I say you had a slight amnesia, maybe you forget. There was a question thrown out to the conference, and the overwhelmingly said that yes, we should adopt that particular clause.
And the chairman of the board rejected that.
After a few minutes, you came back and turned the question around. Saying
the chairman of the board rejected that. The chairman of the board rejected that. You heard it from the horse's mouth.
Come in here and Mr. Myers. Mr. Myers, let me come. Yeah, you want to come in?
Let me ask Gabriel a question. Can I ask?
Yeah, you can ask him.
Yeah, Mr. Myers.
Yes, sir.
All of you are guests, but
I enjoy you as an MC, but one of the things that I was very disappointed was I'm not sure whether you knew that being an election commissioner and at the same time playing a part as an MC, do you see any conflict in that?
Yeah, you did not. Maybe you understand it.
There is no conflict in that whatsoever. I was approached to serve the Grandian people by the will and pleasure of the president. Me, it got nothing to do with me planning any clandestine activity with the administration. I'm just an MC. How can I be in cahoots in any shape and form of the election process? So I see no conflict of interest. Now, not whatsoever. MC was different from election commissioner position. I went there to serve the Grandian people and I served them to the best of my ability when police were called.
Okay, Mr. Gabriel.
Mr. Myers, let me point out why people.
That was a closed question. It was not an open-ended question. I was just trying to, get your insight, because if I'm an election commissioner and people ask me to be an MC in a really conflicted environment, I think I would just recuse myself. But anyway, you explain yourself.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I explain myself. Let me make myself very clear.
Mr. Myers, let me give you some indicators of why people think that you shouldn't have accepted. And this comes to also moral grounds that Mr. Babe Tuli was talking about with Edith Poah. You came on this commission knowing fully well that you were not even supposed to be appointed by the board to serve on that commission. You have read the Constitution, but you still accepted to go on that commission, regardless of whether the Constitution was being violated or not.
Yeah.
So it became conflict. It became a controversial issue. Now the people think. I personally think that you were trying to protect the process so that the body will not make a decision to remove you people or to even cancel the election. you guys were held bound to make sure that Edith election held and the white ballot was going to be held. And so that all you did, you were the point man to ensure that nobody's voice was held. And you didn't give me a chance.
Yeah.
No. You didn't give me, mine was just a point of a point of inquiry. You didn't even give me a chance to ask a point of inquiry.
That was
okay, he left again. He wanted an election commission. I mean, wanted the constitutional committee to conclude its constitutional debate before my point of interjection was asked. Who does that? A point of interjection, everything should stop, and that point of interjection should be made, and then it can be tabled or it can be addressed right away. But he refused.
Mr. Jero.
Yeah.
The whole thing was orchestrated. It was playing. Yeah. It was a game. They played the game as Bobby thought he was saying. Mr. Youboty too was playing the game, and the game played him. But what are we looking for now? The thing is over. What is the next step? Can we brainstorm? What is the solution? How do we go?
Well, Bobby has his own solution. Bobby's solution is everywhere he see Madam Poah, he go to tell the Liberian community to wherever she found him, they say she is an illegal president. That's one way that he has identified. But what other ways? For me, the convention is coming in my state. So in this case, my hands are tied. I can't be one of the people who will say, I can't do anything because I don't like the process. Maybe I'll play a major role to make sure the convention succeeds. So my hands are tied. I'm going to think about what role I'm going to play. But what other ways are there? Can we remove Edith and say, Edith, you were there illegally, or do we just say, okay, you know what, bygone be bygone, just as usual, business as usual, and continue with Edith? What are the ways that we can continue? Columba, you want to come in with that?
Yeah, Gibson, I'm here. Yeah, man.
Okay, let Myers is back. Let Myers respond to my question. Myers, I just told you that I don't want to go all the way again. It'll take more time.
Right.
Yeah, by your controversial involvement into the election process, being appointed when you're not supposed to be, and then you serving as MC, not allowing me to make a point of interjection, and you wanted me to wait until the constitutional debate was over. Parliamentary point of interjection, everything should stop, and that point of interjection is made.
Mr. Jeru, during the convention, didn't I walk into the crowd and came to you? Can you tell the colleagues what were discussed when I came to you initially in the process before the commotion?
You said before the convention started?
No, during the convention, I left. Somebody was on the floor when I came up to talk to you.
You said when the man is done, I will bring you in. Okay. My concern is a constitutional debate cannot be done immediately for an interjection to be made.
So
I don't know how much goodwill you have. I don't know how much honesty.
My next question
I respected the fact that you came to me and told me that when you finish, I will give you back.
Can I ask you this question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Were you in favor of the Constitution being adopted at the convention, or it should have been?
That Constitution could not have been adopted.
So then, what a point of argument? What you got a point of argument? If
no, what I'm saying is different from constitutional adoption.
That why the commotion came out.
No, my question is, we are saying you have a heavy hand to play to make sure that our process, our conveniences were not heard.
Right.
Yeah. So because you are the MC. Okay. And point of interjection, any parliamentary procedure, everything should stop. The point of interjection is made. It can be postponed or it can be addressed immediately, but it must be made. And you know that.
Okay. This is what I would say. This is what I would say. Understand what Mr. Toti said. I got there. The program was given to me about 1 hour before the program started. I am not part of the national administration. I am not part of the board of directors.
Okay.
I'm not afraid to err or say I err in any shape and form. But I was in no cahoots or in no background preparation as to anything that was going on. My thing is this. My issue and my concern is this, Mr. Jerry, and this go to you. when you are appointed on the election commission to serve in that capacity, given the fact that we have gone through an international pandemic, if I was serving in your capacity, I would have given every Grandidian the opportunity to participate in the process, rather than disqualifying people and eliminating certain people in the process. That's what brought the conflict. Now you have eliminated certain people, and one person stood your test and challenged and made every necessary change possible. If you say she's illegitimate, but at the same time, she went through the process of being.
Mr. Myers,
Excuse me,
Mr. Myers, to a point. To a point. First of all, what is your understanding? I mean, what motivated you to go on a poll that it is glaring that particular appointed poll was illegal? What motivated you? Were you ignorant of the law at the time, or you did it out of a don't care attitude, knowing that this particular
outside, my brother Bobby, outside the convention, the board have power. Accept me. At the convention, the body, the people, Grandidian have absolute power at the convention. Outside of the convention, if there's a conflict, the national administration and the board have decisions to make. The organization must be ran. Okay? The organization must be ran. It's a clear cut. That's your version. We all have our individual.
I have a question for you, Mr. Myers. Somebody has a question for you. The person is asking the question. There's one more. No, come in. The people are writing. Bring it in. Yeah, hold on. We'll come there. Somebody is writing. Those people, their questions are now easily seen. So I'd like to bring them up. So you said that we should have qualified everyone due to the fact that we're coming from the pandemic. The person, Beverly Kusina Harris, question is, since you thought that we should have qualified everyone, so why, when they brought you in, you guys did not call everyone back?
You asked me that question should be asked to. That question should be asked to the chair lady of the election commission, Emilia Bear, and Madam Bear brought that decision on the floor to you, which you rejected. The lady said from the initial stage, we lost so much money in its convention. That's
not the question. The question is,
why didn't we?
Let's assume that Madam Bear said it, but I can't say that she said it because I don't want to say anything that brings disrepute to her name.
Right.
I don't want to be part of that because I know that she didn't tell us to qualify anybody. She's one of those people who voted against people to disqualify them. So if she told anybody in the world that she said we should qualify anybody, I don't want to give that credence. But the question is, you claim that you believe that we should have let everybody go because of the pandemic.
Right.
But when they brought you in, did you argue to your commission that, look, these guys made a mistake, they should have brought everybody in, we came from pandemic, guys, let's put everybody back and let them contest? Did you make that suggestion?
No, I did not.
Why?
Because it was up to the body. Now we were at the dying minute of the convention, and I did not want to take away the rights and privilege of the people of Grandidian County to make the decision at the convention, where that decision was going to be placed on the floor to say we don't want election, and the body failed to do so.
Okay, so your thinking was, based on the fact that we were complaining to the administration, it was going to be discussed at the convention, so you didn't want to. Okay.
That issue will be on the floor by the body, or we, the body, failed to do that. Why should I be the only Grandidian to make that decision?
I got a question for the man.
Mr. Gerald.
Okay, go ahead.
Mr. Gerald.
1 minute is up.
Yes. Okay, let Mr. Bobby do this.
Are you guys interrogating me or what?
No, I mean, nobody interrogating you. I mean, I just told you it's a fair point, and I told you just now it's a fair point.
Thank you.
That's how I look. I don't.
Thank you, Mr. Gerald. Thank you.
Let me. I want to get the clarity on this, because from my understanding, Mr. Meyer is telling us tonight that besides the national conference, the national board of directors, they do have the power or the jurisdictions to appoint.
I did not say that. I didn't hear me say that. I never said that on this line.
You said outside of the national conference, the national board, the national board of directors is the higher decision making body.
The hierarchy of decision making. The national administration who ultimate decision making at the convention. Next is the board. Then is the custodian, which is the president that run the day-to-day affair of the organization. So in the absence of the convention, the board has ultimate power to make decisions.
Okay,
Mr. Myers, we know that Myers, Jerry, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, I understand that you correctly stated that the three organs, okay, the national conference, the higher decision making body. Next to the national conference is national board of directors. Then you have the president who run the day-to-day administration of the organization. Exactly. But Mr. Myers, you're just an emissary, just a small fish in the pond.
Right.
Okay? You were just instructed to do what you're supposed to do.
Absolutely.
So we can't blame you. The people who in charge of the whole thing here, the big man who running everything is Mr. Irekon. That papier there, he did everything. And then besides that, you had the Omen Zoanyo or whatever. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Then you have Omega. Omega is just there, the man wagging the tail of the dog. Okay, but the whole thing here is that everything was orchestrated.
Gentlemen, let me play the devil's advocate for Mr. Myers. Let me throw the question out to all of the three of you.
Mr. Jero, everything is orchestrated. The only thing now, the fish have been fried. Yeah. Okay. The next
let me play the devil's advocate for Mr. Myers and ask you guys this question. Is Mr. Myers going to be blamed for whatever blunder of the administration and the board or whatever decision the board takes or the instruction they gave him as an MC and say, do this? Did you expect Mr. Myers to say, no, I'm MC, but I'll not do that? You told me. They don't want to put him there.
Yes.
Why should he say that? Is your MC following instructions?
I was given the appointment by the will and pleasure of the president of the Grand Jury Association to execute that duty. So, given the fact that I'm a Grand Judean, and the convention had ultimate say, a series of people that felt very offended because they felt being very disrespectful. And I want to say in this open manner that I apologize if I offended anybody by not giving them the mark. Oh my God. But then I really realized to the point that there was a big conflict going on between the board and the administration. And I got caught up in the midst of it.
Mr. Jaru,
you told me bluntly that the people told you that they shouldn't give the mic to Bouillonle. So I said, okay, no problem. I'm not even want to talk.
I've been MC a lot. As a master of ceremony, you go with what your principal tells you to do.
Exactly.
When they tell you this person is not going to speak here, this person not going to speak here, this other person not going to speak, don't give the microphone to them.
Don't hold me and tell me that I was in cahoots with these people. I know nothing about the board. I know nothing about the administration. I went there to become a master of ceremony, and I did to the best of my ability.
Okay, last thing before I go to Bobby. You people claim that Mr. Tyler did not go to convention. The commission that you own, you certify Madam Betty Breeze, who have never gone to the last 2 or the last 4 conventions.
No, not Betty Breeze, Yanto Breeze.
Yeah, I need Betty Breeze too. They call her Betty Yante Breeze.
Okay.
So, Yanto Breeze, she had not gone to the last 2 of the 4 conventions, Didn't you guys see that, or was it an oversight?
My brother, this is the thing. When disqualification came into the process, let's start with Madam Poah. When you disqualify her vice president, Madam Poah made a judgment. Why, when it came to Boti Tayo and said he was disqualified and he knew he had a team, why did he not reshuffle his team? But because he is not the head of the ticket, so there was a collapse into his camp. Why? Is it about Boti Tayo or is it about Grand Jury Association?
That was not my question. My question was,
president to be the head of the
ticket. Fit as Boti Tayo, as you say, you being on the commission and you agree that Boti Tayo did not attend the last 2 of the 4 conventions. You know that Yanto Breeze had not attended the last 2 of the last 4 conventions, but you maintain her. Why?
Good decision those decisions were made before I even got on the election commission. Our
What
primary,
was your impact on the board? What was your impact on the board?
On the commission.
my
The
impact,
commission.
my impact on the commission to make sure the election was going to be conducted. We had a
Second
break.
motion. So you did
Excuse
not
me.
do the second motion.
No, hold up. What you call second motion? This
Okay,
process, Mr. Tony,
Go ahead.
you can have your opinion. I just want to say you are
I'm just
one.
asking you, bro.
Yeah, listen to me. You are one Ghanaian. If you're a landman and you want us to move forward, I'm not coming to you to say, I beg you, let's sweep it under the rug. There were so many mistakes that were made in the process, in the interim, of which we have to correct, which we did not have the opportunity to do at this convention, which became a chaos. So to be part of the process to create that change and reconciliation, then I think you should change your rhetoric and say, you know what happened? Even though a lot of mistakes were made, but we have to stay back on the drawing board to rectify these things and make sure we have a proper organization. But to say you're not going to accept her as a president, then I think you are not looking for a way forward.
Are you advocating for Edith Poah now?
I am not advocating for her. I'm just saying she's a legitimate elected president of the Graduate Association in the America with white ballot. That's what I'm saying. Because she had,
I will disagree, but you have your opinion.
yeah,
And
we
you
have our opinion. You know what
you
I'm
are,
saying?
you are an appointed election commissioner, so you have to validate your own process. Which I once can say my body ratting. I will be surprised. I will be surprised if you come here and you say that election is not legitimate. I know people will start asking the whole play with boss. I think I'll get more
Just
views.
to conclude before I exit, just to conclude.
You're not exiting. You're not exiting.
Okay, let me go to Mr. Zina. Mr. Zina, you watching us quietly.
Yes, you jumping over me.
You see,
You can't, Bobby. You can't.
when you ask Mr. Meyer that he had a chance to bring everybody back, and he said,
Mr. Green, I'm coming to you next.
and Mr. Meyer said that well, they were out of town. So that was my point of contention, because it seemed like Mr. Meyer continue with where you guys stop. So if you say you fire somebody because they are let's say they are not competent, so why continue with the work they were doing? Okay, because that was some point of contention that they had to get rid of the elected election commission because you guys were not doing the work. That was the reason to get in the firing. But then Gibson then continue with what you guys did. So my point is that, I mean, so if you continue with the good work, why fire them? After Gibson, I'm going to go and call everybody over and go by the constitution and interview people and then qualify for this will qualify.
You asked a previous question first. What if there were no election? What if we didn't have election and we walk away from there? Were we going to have an interim body, or were we going to maintain James Youboty? And Bobby came up and said there were other competent people. Some people were advocating for interim body, and some people were advocating for no election because it have never been done in the history of Graduate Association to have a white ballot. But my argument is this. That's why I went back to the initial stage. That's why I had some qualms with Mr. Jeru. We went through a crisis, an international crisis. So that initial process would have just clear everybody to say, listen, because of X, Y, Z, everybody is qualified to go through the process and let the battle box decide for itself. And you went ahead.
You guys had a chance to do that. Why you guys didn't do that?
We had a chance to do that. Time has been spent. We were
no. But because at that time, no.
You asked me a question. Let me answer. You asked me a question. Let me answer.
Hold on.
The reason why we didn't do that.
Let
me answer that question. You know why we didn't do that? You know why we didn't do that? We did not do that because we did not want to do injustice to the Ghanaians in America at the convention. It was their responsibility to arrive at that decision at the convention, which they have ultimate power.
Because they're not true. Because the way if you guys are going to qualify everybody, it won't take a lot of work. Because you're not doing background check, you're not doing any kind of interview.
Okay, let me bring Bobby. I want to bring you, but I wanted to bring Mr. Green in. Let me hear a perspective on what Mr. Gibson has said. Go ahead, Bobby.
All right.
Is it Bobby or Fred?
This is the same.
So let Bobby come down. I'll come to you.
So listen, yelling and screaming will not obscure any of our thoughts tonight. Mr. Myers, I'm speaking to you as a brother, as an educated and a learned person. You had no right going on a commission that was illegitimately appointed. You know, for some reason, you decided to go there and you're trying to bring an excuse because you wanted to serve the people of Grand Judah, knowing that this particular board was illegitimately appointed. The second thing here is that you knowing that you were appointed by the board, you decided to take the role as an MC. And when you for some reason, you're trying to play us tonight like you don't understand.
The board did not appoint me. The president asked me to step in that capacity.
When you're talking, that respectfully engage. When you're speaking, I gave you the opportunity. So for you to come on here tonight and argue, you don't understand what conflict of interest is.
He's left. You will come back on. You will come back on, Bobby.
But
yeah, you will come back on.
It's just not right. You can't do that because conflict of interest is playing double roles. No,
but Bobby, let me ask if the president had engaged you and said, Bobby, I want you to be MC for the program, what would you have done?
Knowing I'm on the election commissions?
Well, not on the election, but just the way you are. Will you accept it? Just as you went to the convention, you sent a complaint to the convention. You had an issue, and you sent your complaint there. So the president called you and say, Bobby, even though you complain and you have an issue that needs to be investigated by the convention, and the president said, Mr. Tuli, I want you. We don't have an MC. We want you to be the MC so you can navigate this program. Will you refuse?
I will refuse.
Okay.
Because my position, I have a grievance. I would have been biased to the whole national conference. I would have been biased because I would have gone over there.
But I mean, Mr. Graham will come in and give his perspective. But the MC is only a presenter of what's supposed to be discussed. It does not make decision.
Yeah, but I could play a biased role. I could somehow throw my issue at the front or come up with suggestion that my issue be heard. I had the opportunity, the mark was in my hand. That's the same opportunity that man used. Knowing that he was on the commission, there was a question he asked he asked the entire conference, and the conference overwhelmingly said yes, that the constitution to be adopted.
But the chairman of the board said no, Mr.
Tony. Does not override what the conference says, though. The board does not override what the conference says. You should know that.
Said that and allowed the chairman of the board, and the chairman of the board said no, that the constitution will not be adopted. That's where the conflict came from.
Yeah, but you can't change what the constitution. I mean, the conference decided. You came by and said something else. That's what we're saying. You changed everything around. But know that me not know you're pretty true. Listen, Mr. Myers, I respect you. I don't want to corner you, but from my heart, I know you play a double game. You play a double game, and that was unfair to the people of Grand Judah.
Okay, let me bring Mr. Guillaume in.
I'll leave you. I'll respect your
yeah, thank you, Gibson. Thank you. You know,
yeah,
and I started here for like 20 minutes.
You got a lot of information because you were listening for a long time.
Yes. No. What I would say, you know, I always told people that we don't have prosecutorial power in this organization.
No.
We don't have police. We don't have army. It is only us. And tonight I have two board members of one former board and one board member. It is only us who can protect this organization. And the only way we can protect the organization is by following the rules. You know, when we meet to debate the rules, our constitution is better than for us to, you know, you ask a question. Even if I was at that thing and somebody said can't be the MC, and I pick up that and they gave me the program. And I'm a Grand Judean, I look at the program. Looking at that program and seeing what is in there, I think it's also my duty as a Grand Judean go back to the president or the board and say, look, what are we going to discuss here? Is it the agenda for this program? Is that what we at the national conference? You know, because we all live in this community. The community I've been reading since 2016. You know, the problem we have in this organization, people weaponize their powers. The president weaponizes his place. They both weaponize the thing, and we try to use it against each other. You know, Mr. Myers. I mean, I know Mr. Myers. We've been in Philly for long. Mr. Myers was an avid supporter of GGAD. He left, GGAD because he felt that what he believed in and what GGAD believed in were not, on the same wavelength. So he left. But still, he's a Grenadian. We have to protect this. I watch him very well. And that instant what Bobby is talking about, it is true. He asked the first question first, and he got the vote. But you said the board chairman came and changed it. So you went back and twist the question. Right there, I don't know what you were aiming at. Maybe somebody came in your ears and try to change you or say something, But it is all of us who have to protect the institution. Now, we people left from over there. There's nothing. What do we go? Where do we go now? We all have to step up, because out of the national president who was elected in Des Moines, understand that this organization is in this state, and she moved quickly to put a national committee together of everybody. So look, we have to fix it. I'm forgetting my project and this and that. If I'll do my project, I'll do it in my second term. But the organization needs to be fixed. Further, I expect her to make that statement when she got to that convention. So say, look, we have this problem. I don't want to wait about it. I think we need to fix this organization to the board or everybody. This is the conference. This is where we make decisions. What can we do now? What is the agenda? You bring this agenda. I look at it. You look at it and say, look, we need to fix this thing. Sometimes we have to stay in a place when you go to an election and they beat you, and everybody on the line know tonight, and they beat you and you leave, and you come back, they beat you and you leave. It doesn't mean that you don't know that there's cheating. In Dallas, Texas, it is very Eric Cohn announced Tim Collins as the winner. I walked up on that stage. I filed a protest on the stage the same night. It was not even 48 hours. Eric Cohn still went and inducted Tim Collins into office. All of you were there. What did I do? The next morning, I went to Tim Collins' ground. I told you, my man, you'll be president. Because I only did that last night so that to calm the nerve of my supporters. The institution will survive. Then when I came back and won. It is all of our duty to protect the institution. We want to enjoy it. Then the thing that is going, it's never going to survive. Even this administration never going to be, it's never going to survive until we restructure it. It has to be restructured. You go up and come down. It does not have magic. She's not going to fix it. So she have to move fast and say, I'm calling for a national conference of all engineers from everywhere. You know, come together. What can we do? I told James the same thing. Further, I told Mayor the thing. Mayor went by the way that he felt. James came in. He must say I had a meeting in Minnesota before we left Minnesota. We have series of meetings here on restructure. He didn't listen. He went the way he going. I saw James yesterday. They were yelling at him, go outside. Were you there, Mr. Myers?
I was there, yes.
When they're yelling at him, go outside.
Yeah.
Former president. She almost cried in our home. In fact, there are rumors now that he cried. He went in your car, he cried.
You know, Jim let her cry now, so.
Is that what we want? Our friends. I think it's cool.
I see Jim, but he cry. I think he's talking about beating.
When you're looking for the way forward, the way forward is that we need a national conference of all Grenadians. A national conference. We got smart people. You got Mr. Yalun and all these folks staying in the country, they're just watching. Matakana went over there. You couldn't even get a microphone to Matakana?
No, they said she went to be interim. That's what it says. So,
yes.
Recognized, Mr. Mayor. Matakana was recognized at the convention.
She was recognized.
So, interim position.
She was recognized.
People running around and say, oh, they won't be president. They won't, I mean, why was the Supreme Court and they go one thing, they won't put themselves back in the place. Are you serious? So it is what it is. The president
guys, let me Mr. Meyer, you want to say something before I bring the callers in?
Yes.
Those of you who are listening.
Gibson, I got to say something first.
I'll bring you in. Let me just make an announcement. Those of you who want to participate by phone, please call this number that I'm putting here, and we are ready to bring the callers in. But let me go to Mr. Meyer and then to Mr. Wleh, and then we'll go to the line.
Yeah, this is my parting statement. Mr. Poah, nice to meet you. Nice to see
You
you.
don't want to hear the callers? You party?
No, I will listen to the callers. I will listen to the callers. Mr. Graham, these are the same thing. One of the reasons I exited GGAD is simply because I felt that we were one people and there was no need for us to divide ourselves and giving GGAD and GGAA. I'm still part of GGAD, but I just felt like my impact would be much felt with GGAD. I mean, GGAA, that's the reason why I kind of crossed over. But this is the thing I want to say. The board, there's certain people in the organization. First of all, most of the problem in the organization is come from the board. The board needs to be restructured. There is no way you're going to have over 40 people making decisions. The board needs to be restructured. We need to take a grassroots approach. All these chapters you got, most of these chapters, they are non-functioners. We have to make an announcement before some of these chapters were paying the membership due, the sitting fee in the hall. So please, I'm not trying to sweep the thing on the carpet, Bobby, but it's about time. Let's recognize this administration. Let's use this opportunity to make every necessary adjustment we need to make adjustment on the board, make adjustment in the chapter, and restructure our organization for the benefit of us all, because we are Grandidian and we should stick together. That's the only way we can make an impact. Thank you, Mr. Jerry.
Okay, Mr. Wleh, you can talk, and then I can bring the caller in.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Gabriel Myers. I pointed out some of the things that you should have done, but past. We're just talking about the past glory. You shouldn't have played those two roles, even though some people said that they have different roles. But as an election commissioner, you're a person who makes decisions. Basically, you look at all the candidates and be able to tally their votes and that kind of stuff. So you should be an honest person. You shouldn't be the person to be MC. But even if you're an MC, you should be a person. You only work for Grand Jury Association, even though you are appointed, but you got to seek the interest of your people. The national conference, the main elephant in that room was what? Putting the people's views and opinions, the letters they have written to Mr. Youboty. There were countless of letters. They should have read those letters at the conference. That should have been the first thing. But because they caricature, they orchestrated everything, so they just did it like that. But everything is done. I really like the point that Fred raised here. I think is incumbent upon Edith Poah. She won the whatever fraudulent election they gather, but she's president. So basically, she has to now bring other people together, and organize a national conference and be able to bring everybody on board. And I also attended one of these guys' meeting, the Basel people. I went to them in Des Moines, Iowa. I pleaded with them. I said, look, gentlemen, you shouldn't break away. Okay. Yeah. The best thing is what? Either will come back and bring everyone together so that we can be able, as one Grandidian. The mistakes that were made, we shouldn't repeat it, because there was a lot of backstabbing. Yeah. There was a lot of undermining, because the leaders of Youboty team, the president and the vice president, they were on different level, and Youboty was on different level. Okay, Youboty too were playing two games, and the game played him. Okay, we have to say that. Okay, but what do we do moving forward? What is the solution? The solution is what? We have something in the constitution that says national conference. Okay, either has to organize a national conference to bring all the parties together so that we can move forward. Thank you very much. You can bring the people on board.
Okay, let me bring in Debbie Dan. Debbie Dan, how you doing?
I am blessed, and you?
Thank you very much. They're listening. You have a question or a comment?
No, Mr. Jeru, I'm not too good at picking up water when you waste it already. What I'm good at, what I'm good at is trying to fix it. Because I made noise. And I knew that as long as the nonsense we call board we're going to have the confession, we're going to do that. And so now it's done. We try Nana to fight Edith like we're fighting ourselves. So the only thing is my own contribution solution to the problem. And my solution to the problem, let me tell you, yesterday on your show, somebody spoke. And it was fierce from my auntie. The person said, Ellie have met with us almost 5 times. Even our own second couldn't be with us. Whoa! We got fighting. Please with me, please. So, I'll be honest, I know Edith will listen to this thing. We can take out the water, it will cause more disaster. We can fix it. That I know. He ain't got no work to do in these 2 years to bring us together. He was already doing the most major project. We already now too ready with Change Agent Network. What are you going to do? They bring us together because she don't want to say that you can become president. That's how you used to 2 years to bring our organization back together. She's a fighter. If she could fight for us in New York, in that one, imagine if she bring us together, how powerful it would be for her to even meet with the sitting president right now of Liberia. This is the only thing we have, my people, and my own contribution there.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Let me bring in Amos Zawanja. Mr. Zawanja, how are you doing?
I'm okay, you?
We are very great. And what's your point? What's your question if you have one?
Thank you very much, my honorable people of GGAA. You know, I'd be so happy if we are singing our indigenous songs that what we saw May 6th. It brought joy to me. And then unfortunately, we went differently in Iowa. But, you know, if you plant banana tree, you will reap banana. You won't reap potatoes or oranges. We always creating something that will carry a backward every time. This year, Miss Grand GGAA Association for the 8 years. For the 8 years. They always act. Nigerians, we want to be a political institution, or we want to be a charitable organization to look and help our people. Are we prepared to be a charitable public entity? Do we? If we are not, then let's engage, or let's get the consequences that we create, the problem that we are creating.
What do you mean the problem? What problem are you talking about?
The problem is we bring something in and will create division every time. That is Bob Muffin Wonder or Mr. Boo doesn't have PhD, he cannot be president for non-profit entity.
Let me ask you a question. Do you believe that Mr. Baba's question, and I'm just going to go Mr. Baba's point for a little bit, other people have issues. Do you believe that Madam Edith Poah was legitimately elected?
Before I answer that, the Honorable, I want to know if Grand GGAA ever introduced white ballot before.
Well, this is my first time since I joined the Grand GGAA Association in 2008, but I don't know if it happened before that. I don't think so.
Okay. Because our old people say, on the old mat, you prepare a new mat. I believe it has existed before. Okay, we need to inquire. I don't think that
there has been no white ballot in Grand GGAA Association history.
Okay, I
can tell you for sure. Yeah,
but we will investigate it. But I'm telling you tonight, if we come up with an agreement that brings in white ballot, yellow ballot, that agreement. We need to adapt.
The question I ask you, Mr. Zawanja, the question I ask you is, do you believe that Madam Poah was legally or legitimately elected?
Yes, she is legitimately elected.
Do you believe also that the appointed commission was illegal or was illegal?
Was legal.
Have you read a constitutional provision that says any national officer like the Election Commission, when they are in place, you cannot appoint another group unless you go to the convention? Have you read that?
My reading or not doesn't mean
yes or no. Did you read that? You know, we
had a conference.
When you read it, it's not damnation to you. If you don't read it, it's not damnation to you. Every suppose not read it. But I just want to know if you read it. Did you read the constitutional provision, Article 8, Section 6, that say if anyone, any national
I never read.
Okay.
I never read that.
Okay. Go ahead with your comment.
I never read that.
Go ahead with your comment, sir.
I want to get my speech. Yeah, I don't waste my time in doing something that will waste my time.
You don't want to waste your time, but this is the problem. People don't understand the issue.
What I have interest in is to operate.
But may have the same view as Gibson Myers. So once Gibson Myers said the boy is legitimate, so there are two people who say so. So
yeah. It is. I mean, I go with the board's decision in the action for the conference.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
I know in which we derive our white ballot is what Bobby Chody had a problem with. If everybody were clear, then we would not get to white ballot. But because certain people wasn't clear, white ballot is not a crime. So therefore, it's a legitimate.
White ballot is purely legal. White ballot is legitimate. But the circumstances under which the white ballot was obtained. First of all, when you are appointed as a new commission and you say we didn't do any work, you went exactly with the plan we went with. Everything we said, you agreed to that.
Yeah.
More than that, the group that you
I want to do injustice to the crown people at the convention. I wanted to leave that opportunity to the people to make that decision if they want election or not. I can't take that away from the crown people.
All right, let's let Mr. Zawanya conclude his comment. Mr. Zawanya, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, so my point is, the first commissioners, the second commissioner, all are doing something for our county. Okay, and what we want is peace and unity among us. These are the things we need. But to go against one another, this one is not a good material, and this one won, and I will not accept it. It is not helping us.
All right.
Anything that we do, whether it's sports, we have to fix. We have to fix it. We all make mistakes, and we should accept to resolve them. Today is Edith's time. When in 2 years' time she'll be gone. But what we want is to develop our county.
All right.
Vision will not help us.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, Mr. Zawanya.
I call my young brother, Wleh. I talk with him that you guys are young, can be tomorrow you can be a camp. Accept the result, so we change your name. And that shows some maturity. We are doing this for our county. I will not be enemies because Tyre won. I will be the happiest that somebody is there to lead us, who will sacrifice, spend your own money up and down, sleeplessly. I mean, we should take into consideration anyone that comes in that I will do this. We rally around the person. When that person comes,
no, but Mr. Zawanya, that's not what we're talking about. Boteta spend money too. Jim Youboty spend money. Boteta spend money. Jim Youboty spend money. Spend money. Everybody spend money. It's not about spending the money.
Mr. Gibson, listen. According to Mr. Zawanya, listen. We can do this, Mr. Zawanya. We can do this. We can turn this organization into Bobo Amunya, Jonathan Gateway Bobo Amunya, where there will be no constitution, where there will be no election, where we go today.
Let me learn. I'll go finish.
We can do that.
When the conflict in Boston District, I was one of those who proposed a meeting in New York, a neutral ground. And today, Boston District is together. We buried together. It was divided. We had two presidents. We have to solve our own problems. Okay? Now is this. We can fix it. When anything went wrong, we can correct it and see the better days ahead. We can make it.
All right. Thank you very much.
which can fix it.
Thank you very much, Mr. Zawiya, for your fair opinion. Thank you. Let me go to is that Tower Johnson? What's your name?
Tower Johnson, you got it right, sir.
All right, sir. Thank you. What's your point? Do you have a question or a comment?
I got a point for Junior Matters. I know him personally, that's my big brother, Mary Jones. Junior Myers, my question to you is that
who you call Junior Myers?
I like what
you're referring to me, Gabriel Myers Jr.
Okay, Junior Myers. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. My question to him is that everybody on him because of what he did. The last comment he made, he said he's doing it for the crown people and for the people. I know you're talking about what about it, nobody. Also, too, he was right because all that election that they are doing for who president, male or female, at the end of the day, it's the people of Grand Gila County have to benefit. It's not us who in the United States of America. Us that in the United States of America as Grand Gila, because I'm from Putu. Who's in America, we all have all the benefits. We have everything to ourselves. Our people back home in Grand Gila are looking up to us as an organization of Grand Gila. So we need to put all our differences aside. We need to go back on the table. We have to go back to election, whatever we can do to be unified. Because our very spiritual, the Bible says it's too hard to work together if we don't agree.
Right.
If everybody holding and pulling, picking their partner and say, oh, this is a woman for me, this man for me, this person I want to go. Our people will suffer as we speak right now. When it rains, our people is cut off from what? From Monrovia. Our people cannot get food to come to them from Monrovia. As I speak, I follow Grand Gila. And I see my other brother, that I forgot his name. He went there a few days, he built, what's his name? He did markets, he did a lot of stuff for our people. We need to come together and help our people. Then we start talking about election and who win, whatever we can do to resolve and bring the president for Grand Gila, that Grand Gila can be able to come back on them. You see, Lima County, the people are united for developing the country. Lofa country for developing the country. Everybody is developing the country. We are so much. We don't know, like we're the oldest organization in America. Our people stay cut off from Monrovia and from other people when it's so east. So we need to come together and find somebody that will be holding all together.
So you think we should be the one? You think we should be the one to?
And we'll have free education and all. We need to talk about people who back in Stockholm. It's not about me, Tower Johnson, it's not about JR, it's not about any of you on the phone. All of them, okay, our refrigerator, we can go our children go to Google school, we ain't got to work about anything. But I will focus here about people back
Mr. Johnson.
And I thank you for
Mr. Johnson, are you hearing me?
We talk about people back home. And we put our differences aside and be a grown men and grown women. If we go back to the ballot box and go vote that president, then we go vote.
Mr. Johnson, are you hearing me?
He says that for the Grand Gila people. It's not about him. It's not about anybody. It's about the Grand Gila people back home.
Mr. Johnson, are you hearing me?
Because we in America here is good. And people back home need our support. They're looking up to us. They are not having no good school, no good road, no.
But I can hear you.
Mr. Johnson, are you hearing me? Are you hearing me, Mr. Johnson? Okay, I don't think he hears me.
Yeah, I hear you, sir.
Okay, I wanted to ask a question. You talk about road building. You think the people, the Granadians in America, should collect money and build a road from the Sesto River all the way to the end of?
Yes, brother, people, yes. We should do whatever it takes our people need, yes. And I will be willing to I'll leave my number. I'll be willing to support them too.
Mr. Jerome.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Please asking, does he know how much asphalt road? 1 mile of an asphalt road, does he know how much it costs?
No, I will not going to. Thank you very much. And
muted. Goodbye.
You know, that will be the cause for tonight. And I'd like to take your final comment. And Gabriel, you wanted to go early. Either you listen to Bobby tear you apart while you're here, or you go and he tear you apart. You can decide what you want to do. Just kidding. So let me give you the chance to give your parting comments, and then we'll go to Mr. Tuli, and then Mr. Guyon, and then Mr. Wleh will be the last.
This is what I just want to say, that without competent, without sound Grandidians, there can be no GGAD, there can be no GGAA, there can be no Grandidian Association. And I think that's what we're trying to accomplish here. You see, for GGAA to be vibrant, its members, man, come on now. The individual within the organization have to be competent. It's time for Grandidian to put the best foot forward. You know, when I wasn't born and raised in Grandidian content, I was born and raised in Monrovia, but that did not deter me from being around my people because I was introduced into our culture. But we have this section divide which is killing our people. I will not extract my Konamo people from it. When you come to sectionalism, you come to people who are very strong-minded, are the Konamo people. Let's break me on here. My own people didn't talk to me for 2 years because Konamo man decided to carry chairman to be president when President Graham became president. I lifted him up and told him in the hall when he became president. So I'm saying to everyone here and everybody listening to me, if we want to have a vibrant organization, the members, it is our responsibility to educate and inform our brothers and sisters to be able to make decisions for themselves. So not because I'm from Konamo David, so if a Konamo man in front, so it is my obligation to follow a Konamo man. If the Konamo man is leading me to the wrong place, I should stay following him? Absolutely not. That's why I have the problem with my brothers and sisters from Boston District. If Botitaya was not qualified to go on the ticket and participate in the process, there was still opportunity to keep the team together and replace Mr. Taya in another position for another person to be the head runner. Then Grandidian people speaking. But I just want
that is very unlikely proposition.
Okay.
I don't see how that will have. So Daud Kamara. Okay, Daud Kamara disqualified too. First of all, the board cannot disqualify people.
So what about the secretary? When you're disqualified either by president, she replaced the vice president and stepped the vice president down to secretary.
That makes sense to me because she's still the head. Or you move Bodetaya and say Bodetaya, you be the secretary, and then Jala you sign, you be the president now. How realistic that is.
The issue is if Bodetaya is not the head of the ticket, then there's a conflict.
Of course, it is because of Bote that they are in a race. It's not because of Jalayu, it's not because of Kamara, it is in the interest of Bote becoming president that they join him. So they didn't join him because they are all equal and they want to be president too. Bote brought them on board to assist him to navigate his administration if he won. So if he disqualified, then you come as president.
So what I'm saying to you is, it will be the responsibility for everybody in the process to be competent. Let us do our best to uplift and promote each other and make sure we are at a place where if we elect somebody that will be very competent in the process to lead us into the future.
That's fair comment. That's fair comment. Okay, Mr. Tuli, before Mr. Myers leave, because you don't know what kind of bullet is going to come.
No, what are parting comments? So nobody's going to answer their friend parting comments, though.
No. Okay, let me take the last caller here, please. The last caller. Son Jerry, how you doing?
I'm good, Mr. Gilson.
You got a question or you want to make a contribution?
I just want to contribute.
Go ahead. They are listening.
Is there a Son Jerry guy who always hitting me on Facebook? I never met him before.
I just want to tell Gabriel Myers that I have all the recording with I all that. If you can remember when you were getting an MC, it was a kid that was right before you. It was my tip. I got everything. But it's true that you Gabriel is one of those that caused the problem here. Of Grandidian, we are just people. If I was you, I'm not going to accept to be an MC to this program. But anyway, we got work to do, so we'll work as Grandidian. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was very simple. And let me go to Mr. Tuli. Mr. Tuli?
Well, thank you, Jason, for this show. where people can come on here to speak their mind, void of embarrassment or
And I think we treated everybody fair tonight. Gabriel, am I right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Bro. Hey, I'm very confident. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
Everything is going fine. Go ahead, buddy.
No, it is not in my vein or in my person to want to tear another Grenadier apart. No. I only try to set the record straight, and I hope Mr. Myers is listening. Listen, it's always good to speak truth to power, because you know what? The truth, how long it takes, it will prevail. Mr. Myers was wrong to accept, as a learned person, knowing that the board had no authority to appoint election commission. He was wrong to accept that position, and at the same time, that by accepting the thing, he agreed to MC the program, and he was able to maneuver some of what he wanted to get through. He played games with the people, and you can't do that, my brother. That's what I'm calling you on. That's what I'm calling you on. What you did was not right. We Grenadians are forgiving people. We'll give you the benefit of the doubt. There are a lot of opportunities ahead. Hopefully, you're a good MC and you're an eloquent speaker. But I think when you stand on the right side, you'll be given more credit. But what transpired at this weekend, the role you play was a dark role. It was a dark role, and I'm a little disappointed. As I said, we are all learning. We are all young adults. You still have the opportunity to redeem yourself. The opportunity is there. So, I will let this slide as a brother. And when it comes to Edith, we all want peace. We all want peace in this community. Grandchildren must continue. Grandchildren must go on. But I'll make my decision that Edith is not a legitimate president. She's illegitimate from our point of view. And I want people to respect that. Me going around proclaiming that all over the place doesn't mean that I'm looking for trouble. But the right thing need to be said. We cannot, as a civilized people, continue to go down the right where we see black and quarter white. Grenadians from time immemorial have been looked down upon. We can't continue to exhibit, how do I call it, Neanderthals or Neanderthal behavior or caveman age behavior. We have to merge with the modern society. We have to do things in conformity with the rule of law. If granted that we do not want to respect the rule of law, I continue to say this. If we don't want to respect our constitution, then my people, I'm begging y'all, it is okay. Let's turn this thing into a sessional or some traditional club where we can go to Bobo today and say this person, Jonathan Gato, you are from Bobo, you be the president for 2 years. The next time they come to me, Bobby, you are from Chen District, you be the president, and Mr. Captain Jaru, you are from Bazon, you be the president. Then we can do that. But as long as we decided for this institution to be a democratic institution, we must adhere by the rules and regulations that have to do with a democratic institution. We must respect our constitution.
Thank you very much.
And I want to stop there for tonight.
Thank you very much, Bobby. Bobby will be back here tomorrow again, you and I. So you got I like the exchange. I do really like this work. Chatini is very refreshing. Is a winner?
Yeah, thank you, Gibson. All I want to say is our community, we need to do more to bring our community to a place where we're all going to enjoy it. I've been in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia for the longest. And right now, I can tell you they call it UNIBOA, United Baseball Association in Americas. They have taken over Pennsylvania. You can't hear GGAA, you can't hear GGAD or UNICO. Before it was UNICO, the United Lima Citizen Council, and then it was the Grand Association. In fact, every weekend, before anybody has anything in Philadelphia, they got to call. Man, what do you have we're doing in Philadelphia tonight? You're crime people, when you're having something, nobody can. We've lost all of that. And it's all because of infighting.
One of the happiest people in the land.
Yeah. It's all about infighting and people beating their chest. What I saw this weekend was all about beating chest, and people want to prove that they can stand up to other people. And that's not what this organization was built upon. We built this organization to be able to help ourselves. Our kids are graduating from high school, from colleges. In fact, I don't see another wave of refugee coming. So it tells me that there's nobody to take over from us when we leave the stage, because our kids that we're having here, we are not even teaching them what the Grand Leader Association is supposed to be. How many kids were in Des Moines this long weekend? The only time we took children to a convention, I think when we went to Missouri, GGAD, we went to carry our kids in, because we have to, but we can't carry our kids when we're going to, I mean, the presence of police at every Grand Leader event, that's going to be the order of the day? The new war in the Grand Leader community should be impeachment. Every 5 minutes, we impeach a man. We'll move that man. We do this. We do this. That's what we are. No, that's not what we are. And, so we ought to look at it and say, look, we need to face this community. We need to listen to our leaders. And somebody asked me when I was on one of the shows, they said, look, you always on this show talking about these people, you got GGAD. So what are you going to do with GGAD? And I told them, the start of GGAD would depend on what happened at this conference. Because all we wanted to see was the restructuring of our community. Did we get that? No, we didn't get it. We're going to go another year with 42-member board or 22-member board. I think the presenter of the Constitution did poorly. You can't present a Constitution to a conference like that. So everything now is left in the dust. What do we do as a people? We need a conference of the mind. We need a conference of the mind. I can tell you tonight for free. We're going to work. GGAD going to set up modality at our coming convention, where we'll invite Grandian for us to discuss the way forward. It has nothing to do with GGAD. It has something to do with Grandian. I think we need to take the lead now, because we've been waiting for GGAA to take this lead, and they have failed us so many times. We lived through Mayor, we lived through James Youboty, and now we're going to live through Edith. We don't know what Edith going to bring to this table. So we're going to work with the Eminent Council, engineers that want to bring this community to a place that we all can, look, we all love it. We all want to be together. I don't want to go somewhere and somebody, oh, the other people, the people that don't belong here. Who are you to tell me that I don't belong here? But that's the kind of community that we are. Mr. Nyola is on the show. There will be other board members you'll be bringing. We need to open our eyes and see how we can put this community together. From our end, from our part, I can tell you tonight that I'll be leaving the station GGAD in Des Moines. Levi Khan will be taking over. But hey, I will work as I can work to make sure the community is united. And that's all I can tell you, kids. And thank you for the time. And a lot, we can't do what we're doing. The presence of police at our event is not a good thing. And I think right now, Grandian communities are the only community where people go to convention, and when small thing happen, we'll call the police. Like you got criminals in our vicinity. Well, thank you, Gibson.
Thank you very much. And Mr. Wleh, you want to give your parting words?
You say you want to? I would like to. Okay. Thank you very much for bringing us together. I think we had a very good conversation here.
Right.
As I said from the beginning, Gabriel Meyer was just a small fish in the pond. I mean, he was asked to do certain things, and I myself too, I prevail on him because he's a member of the election commission, at the same time an MC. I told him there was a little bit of conflict of interest. I think he understood that. I'm just trying to summarize a little bit. The impeachment saga, we look at the first election commission were impeached wrongly. It was a violation of the Constitution. Precedent didn't take place. They didn't follow protocol. And then after that, they appointed election commission. You can't appoint election commission and tell them what to do. Okay, because when you appoint somebody, you tell them what to do. So that was not free and fair. And these are some of the things that people were supposed to discuss at the national conference. Mr. Gabriel Meyer pointed out, he listed the three organs: the national conference, the national board of directors, and the national administration. So those are the three organs we have in the organization. I hope a lot of people know that now. Besides that, people wrote letters. People send their grievances to Mr. Youboty. He has a lot of emails. And these things were supposed to be discussed at the national conference. And what happened to the agenda? We all here were laughing. Okay. We had these two guys who were working with Youboty, the president, the vice president, and the national secretary. Okay. Nobody know their role. Okay. They were in cahoot with the board at the same time with the what? With the poor whatever team. Okay. You can't do that. Okay. If you don't want to work with Youboty, you just say, oh, look, my man, I don't want to work with you. I resign. But you cannot be, undermining, or I don't know how you call it. You see, these things need to stop in our community. We can't keep undermining our people, our friends. You see, and the same thing can happen to Edith tomorrow, because these same people, they undermine, somebody will undermine her too. Okay, I wanted, closing of the hall. You see, all these things, as I said, was orchestrated. Okay, they didn't put a thing on the agenda. How can you put a thing on an AOB? Okay, the big elephant in the room should have been the first thing, Mr. Gabriel Myers. Yes, it should have been the first. I walk upstage and ask Youboty, what happened? Why you don't put that thing on the first prep the thing? What happened? You guys, you make people to look stupid. All of us, most of the people pay their way, from far off places, Utah, Florida, Texas, Washington, Seattle. Okay, people rent a car, pay their hotel bills, thousands of dollars, and you guys come and play with people there. After the closing of the hall, they already organized. Youboty, they didn't know anything about them renting another hall, and they when they carried those ballots and they said they were having election. Yeah. You don't do that.
No,
your people are not stupid. We are a lot of educated people. Signing of an agreement. If you want to sign an agreement, you have to consult with the what? With the people, the stakeholders, the people who pay their dues. The people are not stupid paying $50. Why you don't consult the people? You sign the agreement. I went to the mayor upstage. Don't sign the agreement. What were you? Okay, we'll go to the solution. What is the solution now?
Right.
I'm happy Mr. Fred Guian just said that the president should have a national conference. It's in the Constitution. So we should prevail on the new whatever administration. As the way Bobby says, you don't recognize them. I don't blame him. They need to go and have a national conference and bring everybody together on the same table to discuss.
Yeah.
Reach out to the Boston district people.
The honorable mayor is passionate
and make sure that bring everybody together.
Yeah.
You see, nobody is perfect. Bunyala is not perfect.
No.
But if you do wrong, go back to your people and appeal. Thank you, man. My man, I finished with that.
I know. Honorable mayor, my man.
All right, guys. Thank you so much, and I really appreciate the time, and we'll continue to be here. Trust me, we will continue to invite you people. It is very, very important that we do that. So thank you very much, and let's play some music.
Well, we're now singing our people. Good night.
I know you don't need to, you don't know how When you say enter, you might add the F boosted. Let me make sure I know. So I enjoy my left. Because anytime I can go. Left you and living, let me do me. The other weekend, I will enjoy myself. The way the pianist start going, I will feel myself. My money, I feel about me for yourself. No, I hate the club. People want to see, but I choose to say yourself because I went there for something. Then I saw they find get one car, I won't go and see. I said, let me try my luck and see. Maybe she agree. Then I cry for me to see someone who I let them holler. So I talk to myself. They be on me. But I'm tell you who be on me. He who be on me. So I walk out the door and say, fine, get hello. Why you doing? She said, fine. What you doing? She said, she ain't that. I said, partner, like your thing. She said, wow. Thank you. Baby, don't thank me, you deserve it. When you deserve it. When you want someone, I provide it. So we start to talk. Someone's going deep and deeper. Put it to the chicken. Did I live in since in her brain? Anything I thought baby, let go now. She said, you going to my house? She said, where can I be? She said, she agreed for waiting down. Oh, yeah, now I won't operate. She's having a plan to me when I get it out. Oh, but she talking about Jack. I thought I was a joke. When I go back there again, she thought I think I take it. I won't force it. But when I force it, man, that rape and rape, that cry will go to Jesus and play my cool, I'll choose to leave it. When I go, I will show happy, I will go to people, I will show happy. I thought that is a hero. It's a friend, and she go, and she call me on my phone. Oh, baby, I'm sending my mobile money, no more, you send me money, I'll call it the best too. I'm gonna send it, or I'm gonna send it. I say that, I won't send it, but I choose to send it. So I thought I said, text me no more, I will send it. Then I send it. She called me, said to say thank you. I said that me call her to confirm it. Then I called, she said she received it. Then she ordered food for my ear. Tell her that. Then I called her back, she said, hey, how on that way back? Minute later, she tells me again, I must send her that local. I didn't take me to be. Anyway, I saw the card again. I did not got it. I said it. We go pass again. Me and the follow again. I look at her, she look at me. I'm passing by her, then she hold my hand. She said, speak to me and you, not me, no palaver. I said, spiritual post. She said, play alone. What your story? I said, I get story. She said, let's pray together. I said, you. That leaving me. At the end of the day, we stay sitting together, we had the same conversation, we chill the same way again. She agreed to follow me, I again my crib. Yeah, so we had my crib. She said, get me $1, let me pay. She came for the bedroom with towel all around waist. Then she laid down on the bed, I'm gonna lay down too. And I make that move. When she can say, hey man, I enjoy myself, I can go to the hour quick, I enjoy myself. I really enjoy myself. Since she left the crib, I'm called mom pass by, she called me, oh, baby, I began call me again, I said,